In the last sessions, we covered, sir, what is the need of version control systems? What the need of version control systems we covered. Next, how version control system works. Yes, how it is going to work. There is a repository concept, working directory concept. Okay, like how version control system works. Okay. Next, basic terminology of version control system we covered. Something like a commit, checkout, repository, working directory, like we covered. Next, benefits of version control system. What are various benefits are there, sir? Like we discussed about that. Next, and after that, even we had a discussion about types of version control systems. How many types of version control systems are there? You have to tell. Can you please confirm? How many types of version control systems are there? Two. What is the first category, sir? What is the first category? The first category itself is, sir, do you know, centralized. What is the first one? Centralized. Even the second one is distributed model. Okay, distributed, right? Sir, next, we covered very clearly what is the difference between centralized and distributed, right? Sir, in the centralized model, what will happen? Yes, we covered already. In the centralized model, what will happen is, now if you observe that, just have a look once. We covered in detail in the last session anyway, right? Sir, in the centralized model, okay, a single repository will be there. This repository will be shared by all the developers. Okay, remember this one, all the developers, right? Developers are required to perform commit, checkout, everything is related to this central repository. So n number of problems are there with this central repository server. What is the problem is, sir, total code is available in the central repository, right? If something goes wrong, something happened to this machine, then automatically, sir, recover is very difficult. Remember, it is a single point of failure. By mistake, if the server got crashed, then automatically it is not possible to recover, very difficult to recover, right? Okay, like next, commit and checkout operations should be performed on central repository. Over the network, performance is going to be down. Next, and after that, compulsory the client developers workspace should be connected to the central repository always. Okay, like multiple problems are there with this approach. Okay, we covered in detail in the last sessions. Don't worry at all. If you want to, you can refer the previous video. Next, to overcome these limitations, we should go for what? Okay, distributed version control system. Okay, in the distributed version control system, the beauty is every developer's workspace having the repository. Have you observed, right? Yes, this is the repository. Every developer's workspace having the repository, right? Sir, all commit operations and all checkout operations will be performed locally. Okay, locally, so performance is going to be improved. Next, network outage is there, still no problem at all, still developer can continue his work. Next, and after that, even, do you know, here there is no question of single point of failure. You people aware already this terminology, right? Next, in the distributed model, we can maintain one repository just for code sharing purpose. Okay, that model itself is nothing but distributed with the remote repository model. Okay, even we have remote repository, don't feel that it is the central repository, just it is the bare repository only. What the, sir, it is a bare repository just to share the code, that's all. Just to share the code, that's all. This is the remote repository, right? But all local, all commit operation and checkout operation, where it will be performed, sir? In the local repository only. If any developer want to share his work, then only he will push his work to the remote repository. Okay, like, sir, have you remembered, right? All these things we covered very clearly in the last videos or last sessions. Any doubt about up to this, right? Can you please spell out? Okay, Yes, I hope it's a very clear for you people, right? Okay, like now the next thing what I have to discuss is sir, the first the tool I have to discuss about okay, Git. This is the most commonly used sir version control tool in the DevOps. Sir, being DevOps engineer, compulsory the first tool what you have to aware is the Git. Remember this one, sir. Okay, the first tool what you should aware is the Git, right? Okay, sir, it's a very simple. Git is sir, up to this, can I use the word Git is distributed version control system tool or not? Can you please confirm? Git is distributed, okay, distributed version control system tool. Can I use the word this version control system tool? Version control system tool, like sir, what is the Git is a distributed version control system tool. Yes, correct or not? Yes, Git sir, based on which architecture it is this tool is developed, sir? It is based on distributed version control system model. Okay, like sir, centralized, can you please tell any examples for centralized version control system? Respond. SVN. Yes, correct. SVN. Next and after that, CVS is there. CVS. Next and after that, purpose. Okay. Purpose. Okay. TFS, etc. Okay. Can you give an example for distributed version control systems? Yes, Git. Git is the best example for that. Git is there. Next and after that, have you remembered Mercurial? Next, sir, fossil. Okay, like fossils. Okay, like fossil. Like it is also like sir. Now Git itself a distributed version control system tool. Remember a bit carefully, right? Sir, now my question is yes. Observe very carefully, sir. Sir, do you aware the word Linux? Array, respond. Have you aware the word Linux? Why suddenly Linux came into the picture is, okay, I hope you people aware Linux. Sir, why the word Linux? Why the word Linux? What is this Linux, sir? It is, respond, it is, why you are waiting? It is operating system. It is operating system. Correct, right? It is the Linux operating system, like. But strictly speaking, Linux is not operating system. It is not operating system. Remember this one. It is not an operating system. Okay, it is just a kernel. Remember that. It is just a kernel. Okay. It is just a kernel, sir. The kernel, which is the part of our operating system, okay, is just it is. So the operating system name is actually GNU. Okay, GNU is the operating system name. So in the GNU, the kernel what they use is Linux. That's why the word GNU Linux, sir, this is the operating system name. Remember this one, sir. But actually, strictly speaking, Linux is nothing but it is just a kernel name. Next, why the word? Okay, why the word Linux? Anyone, can you please tell why the word Linux? Yes, because there is a small link is there with our Git. That's why I'm covering this point. Anyone, can you please tell why the word, sir, Linux? Remember that? Yes, the word Linux is, yes, this kernel developed by, okay, Linus Torvald. Okay, Linus Torvalds. Remember this one. Who developed this Linux kernel? Linus Torvalds. He is a Finnish scientist, right? Okay, Finland, sir. Finnish software engineer. Okay, Finnish software engineer. Yeah. So this person developed Linux kernel. Okay, Linux kernel based on his name. The name Linux came. Then immediately you ask, sir, why Linux? Directly they can keep Linux, like, okay. Most of the operating system names at that time, Unix based operating system names ends with X. HP, AIX. Have you remembered HP, AIX, Unix, like most of the operating system names ends with X. That's why the word instead of Linux, okay, replace this S with the X word. Okay, remember, sir, this is just why I'm telling all this story is, sir, where is the proof? Just a matter of 1 minute. The people who are very much interested, just have a look once. Otherwise, you can ignore. No problem at all, sir. Sir, here Ubuntu. Of course, it is the GNU based system only. Okay, like now have a look once, sir. Here I'm taking. If you want to know system information, okay, your name is a command. Okay, your name is a command, sir. Now observe that. You name, now listen carefully, you name hyphen kernel name, you name hyphen kernel name. Hey, operating system, what is your kernel name? What is your kernel name? Now it is going to tell Linux is the kernel name. Now if I use you name hyphen operating system name, operating system name. Okay, then what is the operating system name, sir? GNU Linux. Okay, remember this one, GNU Linux. Sir, GNU is a project which is initiated to develop a Unix-based operating system. Everything they developed except a kernel. Okay, that kernel who contributed, sir? That kernel who contributed? GNU itself is the project which is responsible, okay, to develop Unix like operating system. Okay, GNU means sir, GNU not Unix, that is the abbreviation, sir. GNU means GNU not Unix. Okay, Unix based operating system they want to develop. Okay, their project started, but they developed everything but except a kernel. That the kernel who contributed, sir, this person is contributed, that's why, right? Okay, but anyway, all this just for your interest sake. But here only one point you people should aware. What is that point? Is this Git is also developed by, okay, Linus Torvalds. Remember this one, sir. Git is also developed by who developed this one, sir? The same person. Okay, Linus Torvalds. Okay, this person developed Git. Just you people should aware. Sir, up to this, any doubt about this? Can you please observe carefully? There are two important points. Very important, sir. Only 2 points I cover. What is Git? What is the Git? Sir, it is the version control system tool. Sir, is it centralized or distributed model? It is a distributed version control system tool. Okay. Next, Git is developed by, who developed this Git, sir? Git is developed by Linus Torvalds. Any doubt? Up to these 2 points, can you please confirm? Any doubt about this? Okay. Next, these days, if any person is asking, sir, version control system, everyone hand is always going for Git only. Remember that, sir. All DevOps engineers, so they are always going to prefer Git as version control system tool. Remember, right? So it's a very popular. Why this Git is very popular, sir? What are various features are there? Why the Git is very popular? Features, just because of features of the Git. Remember a bit very carefully about this, right? So why Git is very popular? Why Git is very popular? Can you please tell the reasons? Okay, can you please tell the reasons? The reasons are features of Git. Remember a bit carefully. So the first biggest feature of Git is distributed. Sir, I hope you people can aware, not required to keep much explanation. Sir, Git, why it's very popular? Because it's based on the distributed model. Once it is distributed, can you please spell out what are various advantages we are going to get? Please confirm. Once it is the distributed Git, distributed version control system, can you please tell what are various advantages? Okay, advantages. No single point of failure. No single point of failure. Correct or not? Yes, correct or not? No single point of failure. What is the reason for that? What is the reason for that? Okay, because every developer has a, sir, local repository. Every developer has a local repository. That's why there is no, even, sir, if you observe the diagram, just here, if you observe that, sir, by mistake, assume that this remote repository gone. Assume that by mistake this remote repository, array here local repository is there, here local repository is there, here local repository is there. By using somewhere you can get. There is no question of single point of failure. Remember, this is the biggest thing. Second advantage is, okay, well, sir, all commit and checkout operations are performing. Where, sir? Please confirm. Checkout and commit operations are performing locally or not? Yes, locally, not remotely. That's why performance is more. Performance is more. The operations we can perform very speedily. Speed is more. Remember that. Okay, we covered already all these things in the last. Just list out the things, right? Beyond that, nothing. Next, sir, any other? Okay, developers workspace need not be connected with the remote repository always. Even without network also, developer can continue his work. Correct or not? Yes, friend. Developer can continue his work or not? Okay, sir, here just without okay, network also, developer can continue his work. Developer can continue his work, no problem at all. Okay, developer can continue his work itself is possible, sir. So means developers workspace and the remote repository need not be connected always. Remember, this is the very important point. Okay, like sir, there are multiple advantages are there. Okay, because of this distributed. I hope you know all these things, right? Any doubt about this? So why GIT is very popular? Can you please spell out some reasons? Can you please spell out some reasons? Some reasons like then immediately. Can you please spell out some reasons? Yes, happily. So first reason you can highlight is distributed. Okay, like sir, this is already we are covering from the last discussion only. These points are not new. But second point I want to talk, very important point, sir. Okay, like sir, one Manish is asking a small doubt. Okay, what is his doubt is regarding distributed model, it seems. Yes, what is his doubt is, sir, if a remote repository gone, then all the old program will be gone, right? If developer did not pull from remote. Okay, remember that the remote repository won't be formed automatically. Remember that, Manish. The remote repository will be contributed by some developer. Okay, remember. So remote repository, no one is going to create. So it should be contributed by developers only. Okay, like sir, it is the bare repository, non-bare repository. Some concept is there. Yeah, we will discuss in detail. Okay, like sir. Now the second very important point, sir. Now listen very carefully about this. The second one here is, sir, one word I want to introduce. Okay, what is this word? Can you please spell out? One word I'm introducing. Can you please spell out each and every person? Can you please spell out this word? What is that word, sir? Staging area. This is biggest strength to our GIT, okay, version control system. Remember that, sir. This type of arrangement is not there in other version control systems. Remember that, like SVN is there, CVS is there. We are not having any such type of area, sir. Sir, what is the job of this area? Okay, like just aware. Very important terminology I have to talk, sir. Please make sure you should have clear clarity. Sir, here assume that this is my working directory. Assume, very important, son. So this knowledge must be required for the continuation. That's why please listen carefully. Working directory. Next and after that, here I have repository is there, sir. Assume that I have repository is there. Okay, this is a local repository. Assume that remote, later you can talk about that. It is a local repository. Sir, any doubt about this terminology? Can you please confirm? Yes, we already aware, sir. Already aware. Now I created one file. in the local repository, sorry, in the working directory, I added some code, okay, maybe Java code or Python code like. Sir, now I want to commit this file to the local repository. Okay, how you can do that? This is about my question. Sir, I have one file is there. I want to perform this commit operation to the local repository. How you can do that? In the Git? It is a very, very important. Sir, most of the people are going to fail. Sir, if I commit, just commit, that's all. There is a command, either git commit, something like commit, sir. Automatically it will come to the local repository. How many people feels like that? Yes, friend, are you in the position to understand? Sir, just I created a file, I completed my work. Now I have to move that file to the local repository. Just I'm going to use the one command, git commit is there. Then immediately it will be moved to the local repository. Anyone feels like that? Yes, everyone feels because we have to move the files from working directory to local repository. That operation is nothing but commit. Yeah, sir, in the last videos I covered about this one, sir. But make sure this is not the thing which is going to be happen. Remember that in Git, committing is a two-step process. Okay, in Git, committing is commit is a two-step process. Very, very important, friends. Two-step process. First we have to add the files to the staging area. First we have to add the files to the staging area, and then we have to commit from that staging area. Sir, slowly we are entering into Git terminology. More concentration must be required here. First we have to add files to staging area, and then we have to commit from that staging area. Okay, remember that, sir. So in between working directory and the local repository, there is one special layer is there. There is one special place is there. So to store our files before commit, that place itself is nothing but staging area. Okay, like friends, where is the place of staging area? Is it clear for all of you, right? Yes, working directory is there, local repository is there. In the middle, staging area is there. The beauty of this staging area is, it is, sir, working directory is the physical. Physical means you can see, sir. Next, the local repository itself is the physical. You can see that. Physical. You can see, sir. But the staging area is virtual. You can't see physically this area. Remember that, okay? So, but where it will be there inside, in between working directory and the local repository, there is one virtual space is there, named with the staging area. Clear, right? Yes, friends, it is a virtual. It's not physical. So don't ask me, sir, can you please show staging area? Sorry, I can't. Okay. If you ask me, sir, can you please show working directory? Yes, boss, this is the working directory. This is the local repository. I can show, but don't ask, can you please show staging area? It is just a virtual layer in between working directory and local repository. Any doubt? All the people are in the position to understand. We are introducing one very important word, staging area. Okay, like, sir, now what is the use of that? Okay, first we have to move these files to staging area. We have to add files to staging area. Okay, like, sir, we are not performing commit operation directly. So the first biggest advantage is you can double check your changes before commit. Remember this, we can double check your changes before commit. It's always required, sir. Okay, at certain point, by mistake, so I'm trying to commit. No. So these are not complete. Then you can remove that, and you can continue your work. Later you can add. Okay, even from the staging area we can come back instead of commit. So the main advantage of staging area is, okay, advantage okay, advantage of staging area is we can cross check or double check. Some people are going to use, can you please double check, cross check our changes before commit. Remember, this is one advantage. Have you observed, right? This is one advantage. Kumar Swami, how you can aware the files in staging area? Slowly you are going to get. Just I introduced the word. Why you have to hurry about that? Okay. Advantage of staging area is we can cross check or double check our changes before commit. If everything is fine, if everything is fine, then we can commit. Okay, double cross check. So if something goes wrong, oh, array, by mistake, remove from the staging area and continue your work in the working directory. Once your work got completed, then you can add to staging area and then you can commit to the local repository. Friends, this knowledge must be required. In the next level. Remember carefully, sir. In the staging area also versions will be maintained. No chance at all, Manish. In the staging area only files will be there. Okay. So versions will be maintained only in the local repository. Just one middle place to hold our files before commit itself is nothing but staging area. Are you seeing the advantage of staging area? Nirmal, what is the use of staging area? Now I hope you are getting some basic idea. There is compulsory some advantages there. Okay, instead of direct commit, first add to the staging area so that if something goes wrong, we can just remove the changes and we can continue. Later updated version we can add and then we can commit. Clear? Nirmal, don't worry about remote repository. In our cinema, remote repository as of now not there. Remote repository will always, okay, from local repository only. Staging area nowhere related to remote repository. Don't worry about this bloody remote repository as of now. Just within the developer's machine, what will happen? You have to aware. Clear? Any doubt about this? Check changes with local repository copy. Yes. So here, if you want, we can do that also. What is the difference between staging area copy, local repository copy? Yes, we can do that. No problem at all. So first you should aware. So between working directory and the local repository, there is one logical layer is there. That logical layer is nothing but what? Staging area. Okay. The main advantage of staging area is to cross check or double check our changes before commit. If everything is fine, then only we can commit. Okay, like next one more advantage is there, sir. What the advantage is? Listen carefully. Okay, just the basic idea I'm going to put. Maybe in the next sessions, if it is really required, I cover. But this point is a very important point, sir. Sir, what that point is? Okay, what that important point is? Okay, like yeah, Ketan. What about commands? All these things we will discuss. Just to get the theoretical terminology first. Okay, like now there is one more thing is there, sir. What is that advantage is? Do you know? Suppose 12 GB files I have to store, sir. Assume that 12 GB files we have to store in repository. Okay, or otherwise some 12 GB files we have to store, okay, in SVN. Assume that, sir. Assume that in SVN. SVN is the centralized repository, right? Sir, 12 GB size files, if you want to store in Git requires only 420 MB. That's all. Not even 1 GB also. Okay, remember this. Very important, sir. 12 GB size repository, which is there in the SVN. if you want to save the same thing in the Git requires only 420 MB space. Array, how sir it is going to be happen? Our data won't be stored directly in the Git. Okay, it is always going to be stored in cryptographic or encrypted form. Cryptography, hashing, hash algorithm. Have you remembered, right? Somewhere we may heard about this hashing, cryptography, hashing, hash algorithms, somewhere like so. Hashing algorithm is going to be applied. Okay, in cryptographic form, the data will be stored. Okay, so Git is always going to take snapshots. Okay, snapshots. Snapshots of our data, and only snapshots will be stored inside Git. Remember that Git internally server mechanism is there, hashing mechanism, snapshots mechanism, it is there, sir. Okay, like sir, if you add the files directly to the local repository, then how the Git is going to take snapshot? How the Git is going to take, sir, convert into encrypted form, convert into cryptographic form. So for that, this staging area is required. Wow. Wonderful point. Observe very carefully about this point, sir. Okay, why this staging area is required? Array, before commit, okay, I want to store directly the data files in my local repository somewhere. Okay, first add the required snapshots I will take care, the required encryption, cryptographic algorithms, cryptographic conversions I will take care. So that converted form by default is going to be stored in the local repository. It is going to do n number of activities in the background. Now, for these extra activities, some middle intermediate space is required. That intermediate space is nothing but staging area. Are you getting? Is really staging area is a weapon of Git. Remember that this type of area is not there in the other version control systems. Okay, like if any person is asking, snapshot, Nirmal, snapshot, some mechanism, internally, Git is going to use some mechanism. Yes, it is internally using some mechanism, some algorithms to convert our data into hashing objects. That converted objects is going to be stored. That's why the biggest advantage of Git is this staging area also. Now I hope everyone in the position to understand clearly what is the advantage of staging area. Are you seeing right? Yes, friends. Are you seeing right? Correct. Yes. Manish is asking one small doubt. Now, local repository file size, and remote local working directory file size. Yes, there is a difference. Yes, obviously. Because my Git is never going to store our data directly. It is going to be stored in the form of some encrypted cryptographic cache algorithms are going to be applicable. Even this is. That is so that's why the file size will be less when compared with the developer workspace. Getting? So second advantage of the Git, it is distributed. This is the biggest number of advantages are there because of distributed nature. Second ones are staging area. Because of that, several advantages are there. The first advantage, we can double check. You can double check our changes so that if everything goes fine, then only we can perform commit. Next and after that, Git is going to take snapshots. Git is going to convert our data into our local repository effective form, from where it is going to perform, sir, from staging area. Okay, like. Clear, right? Viraj, that the encryption, decryption automatically is going to take care by Git. Once the file we retrieved back, the original size will be there. Whenever you are storing in the repository, then only this terminology is applicable, not in the developer's workspace. Clear? I hope. So Viraj is asking, yeah. Viraj is asking, okay, one here, just observe that. Okay, after retrieval, shall we get original size of the data or reduced size? Original size only. Only this algorithm is going to be applicable at the time of storing our data. Clear? Okay, sir, these words are very, very important. then, okay, Nirmal is asking very innocent doubt. What is the doubt of Nirmal is, sir, data transfer from staging area to local repository is automatically? No, we have to initiate that by using separate command. Commit command we have to use, that part we will take care. Okay, next, one more. Okay, all these doubts. Okay, good, good. Sir, if we delete something from local repo, will it delete from remote repo also? What the answer you have to tell? What the answer you have to tell? Yes, friends. If we delete something from local repo, it will be deleted automatically from the remote repo also? No, no chance at all. Whenever we are using push, then with these changes, a new commit ID. Okay, push, then only remote repository copy will be updated. Okay, like, but anyway, so we are at very beginning, friends. You are thinking about last session of Git. Okay, even single command also we didn't discuss. Theoretically, better to get the idea. Okay, like, sir, now here any doubt about this terminology? Sir, why the Git is very popular, the process, how the things, which commands we require, all these things we will discuss in detail. Okay, remember, it's not the correct time to talk everything. Just if any person is asking, there are several version control system tools are available, but why you prefer Git? You should be in the position to give left and right to the person who asked this question. Okay, like this is next, the third. Okay, these things are very, very clear for you, sir. Distributed and then staging area, these two are main biggest advantages, right? Next, one more thing is there, but anyway, please make sure, sir, once we started practicals, then only you can understand these in detail. First, the terminology you have to familiar, right? Sir, there is another biggest facility is there in the Git. What is that facility? Is branching and merging. Remember this one. What is that? Can you please spell out? Can you please spell out, sir? What is the word? Please spell out. Branching and merging. Branching and merging, sir. Okay. Sir, here in the Git, there is another word is there, like branch, and then merge. Okay, like branch, merge, something like. Sir, what is the beauty of the Git is, sir? Here, just observe carefully about this terminology, right? Suppose this is my local repository, working directory. Of course, this is my local repository, local repository. I'm working on this, right? Okay, currently my developers are working on this. A developer is working. So I'm developing a web application. Assume that, sir, some application I'm developing, right? Suddenly the client came, sir, I required these enhanced features also. Can you please, I required these enhanced features also. Can you please, okay, develop? Can you please so develop the code for that? Like a new requirement came. Something like Android support, Android mobile app support also must be required. Okay, like now what I can do is, you can write, you can continue here only that. Instead of that, you can create a separate branch. What is this one, sir? Can you please spell out? We can create a separate branch, and sir, we can continue our work here related to that enhancement. So here possibility work, some people are going to work here also, some people are going to work. Okay, next, tomorrow a person came, sir, I want iOS related support also. Assume that, sir. So I will create from the base another branch. Now in this branch I can work. Are you getting right? I can create another branch. In this I can work. Just a basic idea. Sir, don't ask how you can create a branch. All this terminology, once we started practicals, you will. Just a basic terminology you should aware. Now, once we created a branch, independently we can work. Remember this one. If you perform any changes, these changes won't be reflected here. Means all these branches are isolated from each other. All these branches are isolated from each other. Remember this, isolated from each other, so that the biggest advantage is multiple flows of development. Is it possible or not? Please confirm. Multiple flows of development, is it possible or not? Yes, some developers are going to work on here, some developers are going to work on this branch, some developers are going to work on this branch. Like you can do that. Next, once this work completed, once assume that this branch work completed, if you want, you can commit this branch. Okay, you can send this branch to the remote repository, or you can merge this branch with the other branches. Okay, sir, my work got completed, I will merge this one with this. So with this, and then this total I will send to the remote repository. Such type of beautiful facility is there in the Git. So I hope, are you in the position to understand basic theoretical idea? Once we started, you people will get in detail. Okay, like yes, sir, here what is the meaning of branch? Okay, what is the meaning? So already I'm working on, just assume that, sir, already I'm working on some product work is going on. Suddenly a new requirement came, I require to work on that new requirement also. Then what I will do, instead of disturbing this code, I will create a new branch. In that branch I can work, or otherwise peer developers are going to work. Remember that. So a separate branch I will create. So the biggest advantage of this branch is whatever files are already there here, all those files by default will be available automatically. Are you getting? Now this new team is going to continue their work on the enhanced features. Here also, sir, another requirement came. Like so, this is assume that it is a master branch. It is sir, just assume that Android branch. This is iOS branch. Something like we can take. So now, sir, same work, but 3 separate independent units we can do. So such type of thing is nothing but multiple flows of development. It is also one beauty of okay, our Git. Clear for all of you, right? Now, so all these branches are going to work in isolated way or not? Is there any dependency? Respond. Is there any dependency? No. All these branches are isolated. What is the meaning of isolated, sir? Independent from each other. Okay, like so. Branching and merging, sir. We can create and work on multiple branches, or we can create and work on multiple branches simultaneously. Okay, simultaneously, and all these branches are isolated. Okay, isolated from each other. Remember that. So it enables multiple workflows. It enables multiple workflows. So more convenient to the developers. Remember that it is also, so this type of facility is also not there in other version control systems. So branching concept, right? Sir, we can merge multiple branches into a single branch. We can merge multiple branches into a single branch. This type of facility is also there. Okay, like next, moreover, why the people are always preferring our Git? Yes, it is a freeware. We are not required to provide anything, sir, to use this one, and it is open source. So based on our requirement, we can customize this behavior, right? Next, sir, another biggest advantage, it provides support for multiple platforms. It provides support for multiple platforms. Okay, so support for multiple platforms. multiple platforms. Sir, I want Git for Windows based. No problem at all. Windows based Git is already available. Okay, like sir, this is Git Windows based Git is already available. Sir, I want Linux based. Yes, Linux based Git is already available. Sir, I want Mac based Git. Yes, it provides support for multiple platforms. Clear, right? So these are various important reasons. These are various features of the Git why Git is very popular. Any doubt? But anyway, theoretical terminology, slowly once we started practicals, slowly you people are going to get much clarity. Just aware the words. Yes, friends, can you please confirm? Any explanation is required about this terminology? Respond. Okay. So now that's all. This is what you people should aware clearly, right? Okay. So now here the next thing what I have to discuss. Okay, just that's all. These are various features, right? So if any person is asking, can you please spell out the features of okay, what are why the Git is very popular? Distributed, because of distributed, a number of advantages. Next, it has some special concept named with the staging area, because of that n number of advantages. Next, it has some special concept named with merging and branching and merging concept. Yes, for that several advantages are there. Okay, like yes, sir. Free for only study or for it's a free everywhere. Normal, you can. Okay, it is not licensed version. Okay, it is the freeware and open source. That's all. These are various things what you should aware about the Git features. All the things are clear. Any explanation is required? Please confirm up to this. Okay, good. Now let me go for next cinema. Very important cinema. Listen carefully, sir. Git architecture. Git architecture, the most valuable, sir. Okay, these basics compulsory should be you have to inject in your mind very strongly these basics, so that next level the cinema will become very easy. Okay, Git for different OS have any restrictions? No. In every operating system, Git behavior is always the same, Viraj. Okay, Viraj is asking a small doubt. Is there any restrictions are there whenever you are working on different operating systems, like okay, something like this is a doubt. So Git for different operating systems have any restrictions while working with each other? Okay, while working with each other, like no problem at all, sir. All features are same whether you are using in the Windows based or Linux based or Mac based. Everywhere it is always the same. That's what you should aware. Okay, well, sir, Git architecture. Can I start the cinema? Yes, friends. If you feel comfortable up to this, yes. So I'm telling very repeatedly, sir. Basics, we have to spend more time. Remember that. Basics wise, you require to spend more time. Once you are strong in the basics, remaining concepts will become very easily you can understand. Okay, one thing. Next, and after that, don't be hurry yet learning. Okay, so once you learn, this subject is going to be helpful for your lifetime. That's why better to learn some with extra time. Maybe another 3 hours, 4 hours, 10 hours is going to be extra. But once the points are going to be injected in your mind, then lifetime these concepts are going to be helpful. So learn once, use a lifetime. This is write once, run anywhere. Have you remembered? Write once, run anywhere. This is the Java slogan, sir. Write once, run anywhere. Platform independent nature, like sir. Learn once, and use lifetime. Okay, this is Durga sir's proverb. Okay, remember, that's why don't be hurry. Basics we require to spend more time. Remember carefully, right? Yes. Git architecture, the most valuable concept. Now, sir, we observed up to this, slowly we entered into the Git terminology. Staging area. Next, and after that, commit. Next and after that repository. Okay, repository. Next, sir, here repository. Next and after that, okay, of course, check out repository we have. Okay, next, check out repository, check out. Next, local repository, remote repository, local repository, remote repository, like all these words, like all these remote repository. Okay, like next and after that, somewhere we use the word push, somewhere we use the word pull. Wow, beautiful. Sir, all these words are official terminology of the Git only. So I hope you have some basic idea about these words, right? Yes, friends, you have some basic idea about these words, right? Okay, well, now all these words I will convert into Git architecture. Remember carefully, right? Sir, very, very important. Please take a bit special care about this. Okay, sir, in the Git, if you observe that there are 4 areas are there. Assume that, sir, especially I'm trying to take, sir, here 1 minute. Let me choose a good color. Okay, now here just there are four areas are there. Remember a bit carefully, sir. What I'm trying to take here is just this is the second. Okay, like next okay, yeah, just observe that. Okay, there are just a total four areas are there. Okay, like now the first area we can use the word working directory. Okay, the first area I'm using the word working directory. Okay, like working directory, like I'm trying to take, sir. Obviously assume that it is my local repository. Okay, it is a local repository. Some people may use the word repo, like okay, instead of repository, local repo, like they can use this word also, local repository. Then with your knowledge you have to tell, okay, this one, what is this? Excellent. What is this? What is this one? Between working directory and local repository, there is one logical layer is there. What is that logical layer? Is a staging area. Okay. What is that logical layer? Is a staging area. Okay. Then you can imagine what this one also. Okay. What is this one also? Remote repository. Okay. Like excellent. Now I hope is clear for you. So in the Git architecture, yes, how many areas are there, sir? These 4 areas. Every time our files, we have to move sir, around these 4 areas only. Working directory, staging area, local repository, and then remote repository, right? Okay. Now assume that, very important, sir. Assume that, yeah, just these things are very, very important. Total project code, where it's available, can you please confirm? Respond. Total project code, where it's available, sir? Usually in the remote repository, correct or not? Usually in the remote repository, right? So Git has 2 types of repositories. One is Git has two types of repositories usually, sir. Usually, okay. One is local repository. Second one is remote repository. Okay, like usually the total project code. Usually the total project code will be available in remote repository. Okay, like sir. Next, whatever the work the developer currently doing, it is mostly available in the local repository, right? So the current work of developer, will be stored where, sir? Will be stored in, sir, where, sir? Local repository. Okay, local to developer. Next, and after that remote repository means global, sir. Okay, any doubt? Please confirm up to this related to these 4 areas. Is it clear for you people, right? Okay, well, now the next here legend. Sir, assume that I created a file. Okay, in the working directory, I created one file, sir. Assume that I created a file. Okay, sir, multiple files I created. Assume, sir, multiple files I created. I worked, sir. Now I have to commit these changes to my local repository, sir, because I developed 3 files, sir. To meet client requirement, I have to, sir, save. I have to commit these changes to my local repository. Can you please tell first what thing we have to do? Please guide. What is the first what I have to take? What I have to do, sir? So the first thing is respond. You have to tell. Already we covered. First we have to add these files to staging area. Remember that. So, sir, new files will be created where? Usually new files will be created in working directory. Once work completed, we have to add these files to staging area. Okay, we require to add these files to which area, sir? Staging area. For this, we have to use, sir, first command. You should aware. We have to use git add command. Remember this one. Can you please spell out which command we are using, sir? Git add command. Remember very carefully, sir. If I use a git add command, now the files will be moved. The files will be added to staging area. Very important, sir. This basic flow. So then you people can feel more comfortable. Just to take special care about this one, sir. What is the command? I forgot. Please, you have to tell. What is the command we require to use? Please guide. Git add. That's all. Git add command we require to use to move our files to staging area. If you want to commit your files, sir, what we have to take care? First, we have to add these files to staging area. Now the files are available where? Please confirm. Now the files are available where? Available where? In staging area. Okay, like. Now take very special care, sir. Sir, okay, I want to commit, sir. So if you want to commit, now observe this, sir. So git add, what this command is going to do? Sending files from working directory to staging area. Now I have to, sir, send the files from staging area to local repository. This is about my next work. Okay, this is my next work. If you want to do this work, which command we have to use, sir? Okay, git commit. Remember this one. What is the command we require to use? Git commit. These words are very important, sir. Git commit. We require to use git commit. Do you know, sir? Git commit. What it will do? Staged changes will be moved to, staged changes will be moved to local repository. Remember. Any doubt? Total 4 areas I covered: working directory, staging area, local repository, remote repository. Next, git add command means the files from git is the part of the command. Correct. Normal. You have to use git add, git commit. Like you should not use only add or commit. Git add is a full command. We have to use git add, okay, to move the files from working directory to staging area. Next, whatever changes are there in the staging area, to commit to those changes, we require to use which ones are git commit. Wow. Up to this, any doubt? Slowly, you people are learning git commands. Up to this, any doubt? Clear, right? Okay, well. Is there any copy of the file after 1 minute? Someone is asking the doubt. Who is this? Someone is asking. Is there any copy of the files after git commit in the staging area? Usually won't be there. Viraj, won't be there. Okay. Yes. Here or otherwise may be available, no problem at all, because any new changes are there, those changes only will be committed. Okay, so all changes are committed or not. That's what. Even the files are there, Git is always going to check. Is the same? Is it available in the local repository or not? Like, then immediately Manish is asking another question. Is each developer will have staging area? What the answer? You have to tell, friends. I don't know. I don't know the answer. You have to tell. Each developer will have staging area. Yes, staging area is the part of so workspace only, workspace staging area and local repository. That's why every developer having his own staging area. Yes, correct. Okay, next up. Sir, now observe. So all commits completed. I want to share my work to other peer developers. Have you remembered this diagram I covered? Okay, in the last session. Sir, my all the work completed in my local repository. Okay, now I want to publish these changes sir, to the remote repository so that these things are available for others. These things are available for others. How you can save, okay, how you can send our local repository updates to remote repository. For that, which command is required? You have to tell. You are not kids. Which command we require to use? Git push. Okay, remember that. Git push is the command we require to use. So now whatever files are available in your local repository will be updated to sir, remote repository. Good. Now from the remote repository your work is going to be shared by other developers so that multiple developers can work in collaborated way. Any doubt? Up to this is the clear, right? Git add, git commit, git push. Okay, well. Now my next requirement is, okay, well, observe very carefully, sir. Okay. Now my next requirement is assume this scenario is a very important, sir. Or otherwise, assume that in this diagram, okay, in this diagram, my total code is available where? Please confirm. In this diagram, my total code is available where? Remote repository. Correct or not? Remote repository. Correct, right? In this code, total code is available at remote repository. Okay. Now, listen. Here, two cases are going to come, sir. Two cases will come. Case number one. What is the first case is? Okay, case one. 1 minute before this, let me clarify. Sir, we covered git push. What it will do? Can you please confirm? Git push. What it will do, sir? Just now we covered to move files from local repository to move files from local repository to remote repository. Okay, well, now sir, here while coming back, sir, I want files from a remote repository to local repository. I want the files from a remote repository to local repository. Okay. Now take very special care about this. Yes. What that is? Which command we require to use? Sir, we can use. We can use either git clone. Git clone. Okay. We can use either git clone, or we can use git pull. Okay, like sir, which commands we require to use? Git clone or git pull. So to bring files from remote repository to local repository, we have to use git clone or git pull. Okay, like then immediately, very important question for the interview room. What is git clone and git pull? What is the difference between these two things? Yeah, you have to tell, friends. Yeah, don't think too much. Array, here clone. Have you observed, right? Clone. What is the meaning of cloning? What is the meaning of cloning, sir? Cloning. Clone means creating exactly duplicate copy. Creating exactly duplicate copy. Sir, I want to clone. Okay, I want to clone Katrina Kaif. If 10 Katrina Kaifs are available, so then how we observed, right? Okay, I want to clone 10 Katrina Kaifs or 10 Sunny Leonis or otherwise 10 Amitabh Bachchans. Like so, this is cloning on the human beings is prohibited, sir. Don't we should not. Okay, on the animals we can do that cloning. Sir, clone creating exactly duplicate copy. Correct, right? Creating exactly duplicate copy. Okay, like now here, just observe very carefully from this diagram. Sir, today a new developer came. A new developer came, sir. Assume that a new developer came. Sir, he is the new developer, right? He want to copy this entire repository into his local. Correct or not? Can you please confirm? He want to create a new local repository with which is exactly copy of remote repository. Okay, if you want a complete copy of remote repository in your local repository, then we require to use clone. Remember carefully, right? Are you in the position to understand? Yes, friends. What is the meaning of git clone? Complete clone, exactly duplicate copy. Okay, here to create a new local repository, by cloning remote repository. Okay, local repository, to create a new local repository from the remote repository. Okay, from the remote repository. Okay, like sir, remember, so with the git pull file name should be no, sir, here just aware this one, to create a new local repository from the remote repository. If you want, then we require to use git clone. Any doubt? Please confirm. Everyone in the position to understand this one, sir. Okay, so if first time, sir, I want complete repository first time, sir, then we require to use what? Git clone. Remember this one. Okay, like sir, git pull means sir, already I'm the developer. Already I'm the developer, right? Okay, assume that. Okay, here already I'm the developer, sir. I'm already working on some files. Okay, sir, there are some other developers may be updated. I want those updates from remote repository to local repository. Sir, if any updates are available which are not there in my local repository, can you please bring those updates? If you want those updates, then we require to go for which concept is git pull. Only updates. We are not required to specify this file is required, that file is required. No, sir. Is there any difference between local repository, remote repository? Yes, boss. There are some updates are available. Please bring those updates. Okay, to our local repository. Okay, like now observe that. So to get updated files from remote repository to local repository. Okay, for that purpose we are going to use git pull. Wonderful, friends. Sir, this is this basic idea. If you are having in your mind, then you can play the games with git like anything. Clear, right? Are you in the position to understand this diagram? Any explanation is required about this? Clone is used only once first time. Ashutosh, correct. Clone is we are always using only one. Bringing update means bringing all updated version. Yes, all updates which are available in the remote repository. Okay, Manish. Sir, best example. Still some people are having doubt about clone, about pull. Very simple, sir. Suppose assume that 3 files are there. A, B, and C. 3 files are there in the remote repository. Now this person cloned that. If a person cloned in his local repository, how many files will come? Please confirm. In his local repository, how many files will come? 3 files. A, B, C is coming. A, B, C is coming. Now he is working on these files. Assume that he is working on these files. Suddenly, sir, after this clone, now after some time, this developer created a file D. So he committed, okay, that he pushed that D file from, he added to the local repository, and from the local repository he push. Now D is coming because of this developer. Okay, like next, this developer, okay, sir, created a new file. He added that file to the local repository. Now he pushed that to this. Next, E also came. But this person having only ABC, but D and E files are not available. These are the newly added files. Sir, I want these complete updated files, complete new files, or if any file is updated here, these complete updates I want. Then is required to perform which operations are pull operation. Yeah. Manish, is it clear for you people, right? Yes, sir, what thing is going to be happen? Once we started practicals, there you people are going to get much clearly. Don't worry at all. So this is considered as Git architecture, friends. Okay, remember carefully. So in the Git architecture, mainly 4 areas are there: working directory, staging area, local repository, remote repository. Sir, if you want to send the files, any new file life is going to always going to start from the working directory. If you want to send any files to the local repository, you can't send directly. First, we have to add to staging area, and then we can send, and then we can send. So how you can add the files to the staging area from working directory? Git add is the command we have to use. Git add will send the files from working directory to staging area. Now, sir, from staging area, whatever changes are there in the staging area, I want to commit those changes to the local repository. Then we require to use git commit is the command. Remember, right? Okay. Next, local repository updates. I want to send to the remote repository. Then git push is the command we require to use. Sir, I want to create a new local repository, sir, which is exactly same as remote repository. Then we require to use git clone. It will create a new local repository which is exactly same copy of remote repository. Sir, I don't want, I have already local repository. I want only updates. Then we require to go for git pull. Okay, these are various important things like, okay, checkout operation separately I will discuss, because once we are cloning and pull, automatically what will happen, these files will be available to the working directory also. Okay, that's why checkout we will discuss as a separate command. Okay, don't worry. So if I add checkout here, you may get confusion. That's why ignore. Okay, these type of thing is, these 4 things are by default considered Git architecture. Clear for all of you, right? So today we covered, sir, the most important things. Sir, why Git is very popular? What are various features of the Git? Features of Git. We covered the first one. Next one after that, Git architecture. Okay, like so in the next session, I have to talk about life cycle of the file, in Git. Sometimes we can use the word untracked, sometimes we can use the word modified, sometimes we can use the word staged. Like what is the meaning of that? We will discuss in detail in the next. After that, we have to go for Git installation and start working the things. Clear, right? Now slowly we are entering into the Git so that you people can get much clarity, friends. Remember. Okay, that's all. Next video we covered very clearly about what is Git. Okay, what are various features of Git we discussed. Next, why Git is very popular? Because of multiple reasons. In that one reason I explained, okay, distributed nature. Second reason is, have you remembered, right? Staging area, separate concept is there. This staging area is also known as index area. Remember that staging area is there, which is also known as index area. Next and after that, do you know branching and merging concepts? Branching and merging concepts. Next, open source and freeware. Open source and freeware. Next, support for multiple platforms. Support for multiple platforms. Okay, support for multiple platforms. Like, sir, because of all these things, Git is very popular, sir. Remember a bit very carefully. Next, because of distributed, n number of advantages are there. Speed, performance. I mean, speed, performance. Next, single point of failure won't be there. Okay, like, n number of advantages we discussed, right? Next, because of staging area also, we can cross check, double check our changes which are going to be committed. Next, internally, so do you know, snapshots are going to take the less memory, lesser space is going to occupy our repository. Just how all these things are implemented, just because of staging area we covered, right? Okay, sir. Next, even I covered, we discussed about Git architecture also. Have you remembered, right? Git architecture also we covered, right? Okay, Git architecture. Sir, how many areas are there? Okay, not required to keep any explanation, sir. First area, working directory. Can you please confirm, sir? First area, working directory. Second area, what we call staging area. Next, and after that, the third one, local repository. Local repository. Fourth one, sir, remote repository. Local repository, remote repository. Like, four areas are there. If you observe the Git architecture, yes, observe a bit very carefully, sir. Sir, this diagram already we covered in detail. Okay, like, you people should have clear clarity, sir. So, if from working directory, if you want to add the files to the staging area, then we require to use git add command. Okay, like, next, and after that, from staging area, if you want to commit the changes to the local repository, git commit, sir. Next, if you want to save your work to the remote repository, git push we require to call. Next, and after that, from remote repository, if you want to create local repository, git clone. If you want the updates from the remote repository to the local repository, git clone is the git pull is the command we require to call. Sir, all these are things we discuss in detail, not required to discuss, sir, like, but anyway, basics, more repetition is highly recommended so that the points are going to be injected in your mind. Okay, like, sir, now the next topic what I have to discuss is life cycle of file. Sir, file in Git. Sir, in Git, what is the life cycle of every file in the Git, sir? Remember a bit very carefully about this one. Sir, usually, so every file in the Git is multiple states are there. Multiple states are there for the file present in Git, sir. So which states are there? Sometimes we can use the word untracked. Remember, sometimes we can use the word untracked. Sir, the file is untracked by Git. Okay, these words are very important. Lakhs of times you are going to see these words. Next, sometimes we can use the word staged. Sometimes we can use the word modified. Sir, sometimes you can use the word in repository are committed. In repository are committed, something like. So every file in the Git is one of these four states. Remember carefully, sir. Every file in the Git is one of the following four states. One of the following four states. Can you please spell out, sir? These words are very important, especially the first three. What is the first one? Please respond. Each and everyone, can you please spell out? What is the first one? Ray, respond. Why you are silent? Untracked. What is the second one, sir? Staged. What is the third one, sir? Modified. What is the fourth one, sir? In repository are committed. Okay, modified, in repository are committed. Like, these four states are there, sir. Okay, like, but when we say that a file is said to be untracked, when we say that a file is said to be staged, okay, when we say that a file is said to be modified, just observe carefully about this one, sir. Sir, the first state, let me talk about untracked. Okay, just have a look once, sir. Very important, sir. Sir, if I want to create a new file, sir, where this file should be created? Can you please tell? Usually every new file is going to be created where? Every new file will be created in working directory. Correct or not? In working directory. Okay. Once we create a new file, automatically Git is going to track this file. Please confirm. I created a new file. Either Git will track this file. Remember, very important, sir. Either Git is going to track this file. No chance at all. By default, Git won't track whatever the files we created. Remember, as per our diagram, once we added two staging area, then only tracking is going to be started by the Git. Remember this one. In the working directory, whatever files we created, these files are not tracked by Git. Git doesn't aware about these files. When Git aware these files, whenever we are using the word Git add, remember this one, sir. So the new files which are created in working directory, these new files are doesn't aware by Git. Okay, or otherwise Git doesn't aware these new files. Git doesn't aware these new files. These new files, such type of files are said to be in which states are such type of files are said to be in which states are untracked state. Remember a bit very carefully, sir. These are untracked by Git. Sir, tracking for these files not yet started. Any doubt? Please confirm. All the people are in the position to understand. Just I created a new file. That's all, sir, in working directory. So of course some content, if you want, you can add. But anyway, this file not Git doesn't aware of this new file. That's why please make sure, sir, that such type of files are said to be in which state? Untracked state, sir. Just can you please show, sir, this one, like just a basic idea sake. I want to take just have a look once, sir. Don't worry much about how you can install Git. All these things I will discuss for you people, right? Currently I am in Ubuntu terminal. Okay, like sir, this is, I hope everyone aware how to install Ubuntu. Correct, right? How to install Ubuntu already you aware, or otherwise just I will share these videos. Just check, sir. Now here observe that carefully, right? Sir, here let me create one directory, sir. Project 1. Don't worry, just I'm creating one directory, project 1. Okay, cd project 1. Just I entered into the project 1 directory. Nothing is there, sir. Sir, now I have to tell to the Git, again, can you please talk about this directory? Can you please, I want version control for this directory. Like we have to tell to the Git how you can do the Git init. Sir, don't worry. All these commands in detail we are going to discuss next level. Here my intention is not to show Git init command demo and so on. Here my intention is I have to show untracked. You have to see with your eyes so that you people can feel comfortable. But except that remaining commands, please ignore, forget about that. Okay, now here observe that nothing is there. Just one command I use, Git init. What is the purpose? I will discuss the next level, right? Okay, like now I want to create a file. I want to create a file, right? Can you please spell out how you can create a file, son? Yes, you can create a file by using touch command, empty file by using touch command, cat command, or vi editor, vim editor, like any type of thing you can use, no problem at all. So now I'm taking here, just observe cat a.txt. I want to create a file with some content. This is first line. This is first line in a.txt. Okay, control D. Okay, like by using cat command also we can create a file with some content. Touch command means empty, like we can. Now, sir, here ls, have you observed, right? One file got created. Any doubt about this one? Sir, just I created a new file in my working directory. Assume that this project 1 itself is my working directory. Okay, like now my question is this file, is it tracked by Git or not? Can you please confirm? Is it tracked by Git or not? No. Okay, now I want to check Git status in all the areas. Remember this one. There is one command is there, Git status. Okay, to know status of files. status of files in all areas. In all areas. Areas means as per our diagram, working directory, staging area, repository. Forget about this remote repository. Later I will introduce this fourth place, but as of now, up to just some sessions, we have to work with these three things only. At last, I will introduce this remote repository also, no problem, right? Working directory, staging area, local repository. It is going to tell, sir, the status of all files in all areas. Now, let me use the command, sir. Sir, can you please guide? What is the command? I forgot. What is the command? Git. You have to respond. Git status. Okay, like git status. Okay, we have to use. Array, what is the status? What is the status of in all the files present in every area? Now it is going to tell that don't worry much about all this terminology. In detail, I will explain. Don't worry, sir. On branch master, no commits yet, sir. Untracked files. Have you observed, right? Untracked files, a.txt. Are you seeing the word untracked or not? Okay, now the file is said to be, sir, now the file is said to be in which states are untracked, sir, because my Git doesn't aware about this file. It is in the red color. Okay, like any doubt? Everyone feels comfortable, right? What is the meaning? What is the meaning of untracked? Okay, every new file will be created in the working directory. Git doesn't aware these new files. Such type of files are said to be untracked state. Okay, such type of files are said to be untracked state. Okay, well, now, sir, here I created a file in working directory, sir. Okay, I created one file. Sir, now I have to commit this file to my repository. But before committing, what you have to do is you have to add this file to staging area. Correct or not? We require to add this file to staging area. Okay, how you can add this file to staging area? By using which command? Can you please confirm? Git add. Remember, git add is the command. Okay. Now, here the second state of the file is staged. Okay, like now the second state of the file is itself is the staged, sir. Very simple. What is the meaning of staged? Is the files which are added to staging area. The files which are added to staging area. Remember this one. The files which are added to staging area are said to be a staged state. Remember this one. Now, Git started tracking of these files or not? Yes. Git started tracking of these files or not? Yes. Once you add these files to the staging area, now the files are said to be in the staged state. Okay. Now have a look once, sir. What I want to take care is Git add. Which file you have to add? Can you please confirm? Array respond. Which file I have to add? Git add. Which file I require to add? a.txt. Okay, if you want to add everything, just here dot you can use. If you want to add multiple files, a.txt, b.txt, c.txt, like you can do that, no problem at all. Sir, now if you want to add all .txt files, git add star.txt you can use, no issue at all. Now just I want to add a.txt. That's why git add a.txt. That's all. Okay. Now, sir, the file added to staging area or not? Can you please confirm? Respond. Now the file is added to staging area or not? Yes, slowly practicals you are seeing how you can use these commands. Now the file added to staging area. Now observe very carefully about this terminology, right? Okay. Here git status. What is the status of all files present in every area? Now it is going to tell us no commits yet. Okay, changes to be committed. changes to be committed. Sir, these changes we require to commit. Sir, this is now earlier we have in the red color, but suddenly it became in the green color. Now the file is said to be staged state. Because where this file is available? Where this file is available? In the staged, okay, like in the staged area, right? So now most of the people are having the doubt. Okay, here take very special care. Now, can you please tell, is the file is available in the local directory, current working directory or not? Please confirm. Is the file is available in the current working directory or not? Yes, it is there in the current working directory, but the copy will be added to the staging area for the commit. If you want, you can cross check. A.txt is already there. A.txt is already there. Okay, like don't feel it is a move operation. It is not move operation, sir. The copy, the state of this file added to staging area for the commit. Remember, right? Okay. Now, sir, here git status. Okay, like now the file is said to be in which area, sir? Changes to be committed. So committed, changes to be committed means not yet committed. Now this state is by default considered as a.t. I mean staged state. Any doubt? All the people are in the position to understand? Yes, friends. Everyone in the position to understand what the meaning of staged. What is the meaning of staged state? The files which are added to the staging area. Now the file is said to be in the staged state. Okay. Now I have to, yes. Now here just take very special care. Now I have to tell here, just observe that. Now I have to commit these changes to the local repository. I have to commit these changes to the local repository. Can you please guide how you can do that? Okay, like sir, now if we add, sir, here just observe carefully about this one, sir. So any file which is committed, okay, any file which is committed, any file which is committed is said to be in repository state or committed state, in repository state or committed state. Okay, like now, so how you can commit staged changes? Can you please spell out, sir? These words are very important. We can commit staged changes by using which command? By using which command? Git commit. Remember this a bit very carefully, sir. Git commit, like okay. Now what I have to take here is, yes, here sometimes it may object. That objection I will show. Don't worry if it is. Sometimes it may object whenever you are using the word git commit. Okay, now I'm trying to use git commit, sir. Oh, whatever changes are there in the staging area will be committed to local repository, sir. Now let me consider this one. See, git commit I'm taking. Now observe very carefully this one. Actually, I will discuss in the next level, in the next sessions in detail. Just observe that. So please tell me who you are. Hey, you are performing commit in my local repository. I have to provide who committed. Next, what is his mail ID? All this information must be required, man. All this information must be required. Just you are using commit. So on which name I have to save this commit? Who is the author of this commit? How I can? So it is objecting because I never configured this git anything, sir. So just don't worry. I will discuss in detail next level about this just for the commit sake. Okay, git config global user dot mail. Okay, Durga adv java or otherwise Durga soft online @gmail.com. I'm taking, sir. Next, and after that your name. Okay, Durga soft. Okay, something like I'm trying to take, sir. Sir, let me add these two. So don't worry about much about this. Sir, is it meaningful objection from the git or not? Please confirm. Respond. You are trying to create a version in the local repository. You are trying to create a version in the local repository, but you didn't specify what is your name, what is your mail ID. Without providing your information, how I can save, how I can commit, how I can save this commit in my local repository is the, sir, it is objecting. Yes, meaningful only. Now, just let me add in both commands. That's all. Just copy pasted. Both commands are executed. Now, git commit. All changes in the staged file, all changes in the staged file, staged state will be committed right now. That's all. Here, just observe that there is again there is a small problem. It is going to show. Sir, which editor open? What is this editor? Can you please confirm? Nano editor. What is this editor? Nano editor, right? It is open. Why again this problem? Why again this problem, sir? Okay, don't worry. So all advanced things you are learning at the beginning only. Okay, all advanced things you are learning at the beginning only. Sir, now first objection, it is telling that, hey, please provide username and username and mail ID so that I will save. Array, this is change, this command performed by Durga soft or otherwise performed by Durga. Okay, so this person mail ID is so and so. Okay, like we can specify that, no problem at all. But now my question is, take very special care. Why again it is objecting, sir? Array, you just call. What is the method I call? What is the command I call? Can you please confirm? Git respond. What is the git commit? Whenever you are committing, you have to provide some message that is called commit message. Okay, this command. Okay, what you did in this commit? Yeah, added a new file a.txt, something like you have to provide commit message. Are you getting? You have to provide commit message is a mandatory, which is mandatory at the time of commit. Compulsory you require to specify commit message. Okay, like now you didn't just you call this. Where is the commit message? Where is the commit message? That's why now I have to add commit message. A new file a.txt. Yeah, added. That's all. A new file a.txt added. Okay, like in the nano editor, how I can save? Okay, here control O. How I can exit? Sir, control X. Okay, now here control O. Okay, it is asking for save. Yes. Okay, wrote 11 lines, something like. Next and after that, control X. Okay, now git commit happened. A new file added, something like one file changed, one insertion in the local repository, create a mode, something like this. Are you getting? Now it is already added. It's already added. But anyway, next time onwards, I want to do this mistake. Sir, what I will do is at the time of commit only, you can specify with the -m a new file added. A new file a.txt added. Like you can provide commit message here only. If you have multiple lines are there, then you can provide this commit message by using editor. Okay, if it is just only one line, then in the command itself you can provide. For this we require to use -m option. Don't worry, sir. Oh, actually our requirement is, sir, after committing the file, if the file is available in the staging area, yes. Okay, now I hope it is clear for you people, right? Any doubt about this one? Can you please confirm? Yeah, if you want multi-lines, then automatically better to go for editor. Okay, don't provide at a command prompt. Okay, yeah, sir, that's all. Now observe, if I use git status, now the file is available where? Can you please confirm? Now the file is added where? In the local repository. Now my working tree is clean. Okay, nothing to comment. Working tree is clean. That's all. Okay, these words we are going to use multiple times. Okay, you people should aware clearly, right? So first thing, What you should ever forget about these commands. Anyway, these commands I will discuss in detail next. Okay. So now I created a file, in working directory, created a file in working directory with some content. Assume that's all, with some content. Now the file is said to be in which state? Please confirm. Now the file is said to be in which state? Untracked state. Okay. Once we add this file to staging area, now the file is said to be in which state, sir? Staged state. Okay, like a staged state. Now how you can add files to staging area? For this we require to use git add command. We have to use. Okay, clear? Any doubt about this one? Git add. Okay, next, sir, how to commit changes? How to commit changes? Sir, we have to commit changes from staged area. We have to commit the changes from staged area to local repository, to local repository. Okay, now it is said to be, okay, sir, in commit state, in repository or committed state. Remember this one, in repository or committed state, committed state. Okay, like now how you can do these commits? Git commit -m. Okay, here you have to take a commit message we can add. Any doubt? Yes, whatever I showed is very clear for you people, right? Okay, first untracked file will become staged file, staged state, and then it will goes to in repository state. Okay, like now here just yes, here just observe that there are some doubts are there. Okay, like so git status always checking in the staging area, right? Yeah, git status is always going to check in all repositories, need in all locations, need not be staging area. Okay, remember. Yes, so Vasudeva is asking the question, git status always checking in staging area only, right? No, it is not going to check only in the staging area, it is going to check everywhere. Okay, in all areas. Vasudeva, is it clear? Okay, next sir, Manish is asking a small question. Okay, what is question is? Okay, here just observe, while committing, I just want to commit the particular file from staging area. Then in that case, we need to file name git commit. No such type of terminology. In the staged area, whatever changes are there, the changes which are not there in the repository, all those changes will be committed. Getting right? If you don't want commit, you can remove from staging area. That possibility is there. How you can remove from the staging area? Okay, if you don't want to commit, for that there are some commands are there. Okay, like clear. Next, how we can check file size in committed area? No, it is available in encrypted form. There is no way to find. Remember. Okay, sir, up to this is the clear for you people? Not required to keep much explanation. Okay, like sir, how many states I covered? How many states I covered, sir? Only 3 states. Only 3 states. But still, one state I didn't cover. Okay, modified. What is the meaning of modified state? Okay, remember a bit carefully about this terminology, right? Sir, here, when the file tracked by git, can you please tell? When the file tracked by git, okay, if the file added to staging area, are committed, now it is tracked by git. Correct or not? If the file is added to staging area or committed, now it is said to be tracked by git, sir. Okay, like now here one small thing is there. Okay, which files are there in the current working directory? ls is a command. You know, it is the normal Linux command. Normal Linux command. Okay, ls. Next, which files tracked by git? There is a command git ls files. What is the command? Can you please confirm? Respond. What is the command? Git ls hyphen files. Okay, it list out, it will list all files in working directory. Working directory. It is a Linux command. Okay, Linux command, sir. It is the normal Linux command. Git ls files. Okay, it will list all files in all files which are tracked by git, sir. Which are tracked by git, sir. And it is a git command. Have you observed, right? Because we are using git ls files. Okay, now observe very carefully, sir. Anything to commit in my working directory? Can you please confirm? Yes or no? Anything to commit in my working directory? Yes or no? No. Because whatever changes you have already committed. So now if you can ask git status, yes, nothing to commit. Working tray is the clean. It is telling very clearly, sir. Now my question is, observe that yes. In the current working directory, a.txt is already there. Now observe that git ls hyphen files. Git ls hyphen files. So which file is tracked by git? Okay, like a.txt is already tracked. Any doubt? Please confirm. Sir, these commands frequently I'm going to use ls and the git ls files. Okay, the files which are already tracked by git. Okay, what is the meaning of tracked? Means so the file added to staging area are committed. Such type of files are said to be tracked by git. Okay, well, now what I want to take is, now observe carefully, sir. Yeah, this a.txt already tracked by git or not? Okay, yes friends, already tracked by git or not? Yes. So now I modified in the current working directory. Okay, but it's modified in the current working directory. I want to add a new line, sir. Okay, how you can add a new line? Echo. So this is, or otherwise cat command you can use, cat a.txt. Do you know, right? This command, cat a.txt, new line, appending mode. Okay, hello. This is a new line. Okay, added. This is the new line added. Control D. Okay, like now take very special care. The beauty of git. Now you are going to see, sir. What the point here is? Now this a.txt is already tracked by git or not? Yes, can you please confirm? Already tracked. One copy is already available in the local repository, right? Okay, like now my question is, take very special care. Git status I'm using. Immediately Git identified that array in my repository, whatever copy I have. So now your copy is the different. It is modified. Okay, like it is going to tell. Now observe that on branch master. Okay, changes not staged for commit. Not staged for commit. Now what is the state we are going to get? Modified a.txt. Everyone in the position to understand, right? What is the meaning of modified? Okay, any file which is already tracked by git, but it is modified in working directory is said to be in modified state. Yes, everyone feels very comfortable. Not required to keep any explanation about this one. Regarding that, any file which is already tracked by git, but it is modified in working directory is said to be in modified state. Okay. Now, is it modified or not? Yes, it is modified. Now, again, if you want to save, okay, this state in the local repository, no problem at all. What is the command? Git respond. Immediately you have to tell git add a.txt, adding to staging area. Next and after that git commit -m, okay, committing or otherwise a.txt modified like this. I'm taking, sir. Sir, everyone in the position to understand this line? Respond. Everyone in the position to understand this line? What is the meaning of this? Okay, nothing. Yes, enter. Okay, like one file changed, one insertion, something like this. Now listen carefully, sir. Sir, a.txt, how many versions are available in my local repository? Can you please confirm? How many versions are there in my local repository? 2 versions are there. Okay. Git log. Don't worry these commands. In detail we are going to discuss. Git log. Now have a look once. Array, first commit. This is okay. This is the commit ID 40 length commit ID. Sir, who did this one? Durga Soft. Okay, other name is the Durga Soft. Assume that. Okay, this is his mail ID. At what time this person did this change is 2042. Okay, like a new file added. This is my first commit. Okay. Now, sir, this is the second commit. So both states, both versions are available. Both versions are available. Okay, in our repository. Are you getting the thing? Even though you modified the same file, but repository maintain both versions. That is the beauty, sir. The people who require old one, they will take this one. The people who require a new one, they will take this one. Any doubt? All the people are in the position to understand. Sir, I don't want this commit. I want to revert to this commit. I want to revert to this commit. Yes, I want to revert to this commit. No problem at all. You can do that. You can do that. Okay, like. Yes, sir, this is alphanumeric 40 length commit ID is there. Just a basic idea sake, I'm telling these things, right? Okay. Yes. Okay, that's all. Yeah. So this is what you should aware about what are various states are there. So total, can you please observe that 4 states I covered in our according to our diagram, sir. Just a matter of 1 minute. Have a look once, sir. What is the first area we have? Please confirm. What is the first area we have? Working directory. Okay, working directory. Next one, sir, working directory. Okay, next one is okay, here, okay, staging area, local directory. Sir, assume it is the working directory. Working directory. Sir, here working directory. Next and after that, this one is the staging area. Next and after that, this one is local repository. Forget about remote repository. So as of now, we are talking about local repository. Like, sir, now, so untracked files will be available where? Can you please confirm? If the file is said to be untracked, where it will be stored? Where it is available, sir? In the working directory. Untracked files available in working directory. Next, modified files available in working directory. Remember this one. Either untracked files and modified files available where, sir? In working directory. Next, staged files are available where? In staging area. Okay, like next, committed files are in repository files. Are available in local repository. That's all. These states are by default considered. Yeah. Okay. The life cycle of a file in the Git. Is it clear? First untracked, next staged, next committed, and then again modified. Okay. This cycle by default will be repeated. Clear for all of you, right? First untracked, next staged, next committed. Okay. Like after that again modified. Now, sir, staged. Okay. Like you can do that. Okay, for this, there are some commands also I used. As of now, don't worry about these commands, right? Okay, that's all. This is just a life cycle of file in the Git. Please make sure you people should be aware. Up to this, any doubt? Please confirm. Are you feeling comfortable up to this, right? Okay, well, 1 minute. Sir Ketan is asking one small question. What is his question is very meaningful. Okay, observe. Can we go from local to staging to working directory or not? Yes, possible. No problem at all. In detail, sir, we will discuss in the next level. Yes, from the local repository, I want a particular version. I want to work on a particular version. Yes, you can check out. Have you remembered, right? You can check out and start working on that particular version. Possible. In detail, we will discuss next level. Video just we covered very clearly about okay what is the life cycle of the file in the git and what is the git architecture like. Sir, now let me start practicals. Before that, sir, how to install, okay, how to install git on Windows. Okay, sir, it's a very easy because git can provide support for multiple platforms. Okay, like next, how you can install git on our ubuntu. Next, how you can install git on cloud platforms. Okay, cloud like GCP, Google Cloud Platform, AWS. Okay, like I will discuss, don't worry at all, sir. Okay, but anyway, just as of now, just let me talk about how to install git on Windows. It's a very easy, sir. Nothing will be there. Okay, what I will do is here, just let me open the Google. Okay, just git download. Okay, git download for Windows. Okay, just you can type git download for Windows, like you have to type this one, sir. That's all. Now, have you observed, this is the official website what we are going to get. Okay, git download page. Okay, like we are going to get. Let me go for this one. If you observe that, okay, here just it is, sir, https git -scm. Sir, git -scm. What is the meaning of scm? Please confirm. What is the meaning of scm? Have you remembered, right? We covered already software configuration management. Have you observed software configuration management, which is also known as version control? Version control, sir, git scm download Windows based. Okay, like sir, now here what I want to take, 32-bit or 64-bit, like you can take sir, portable means on any platform it's going to work, no problem. Let me take 64-bit because my system is the 64-bit. Okay, you have to just download, sir. You require to just download. Okay, like you have, sir, you are downloading latest version, like click here to download manually also. Okay, like now let me download this one. Okay, it was released 24 days ago on okay, like this is the latest version. Okay, now can you please download, like yes, friends, are you in the position to follow, right? Respond. Okay, well, sir, now here just it is an exe file. Let me copy this one. Okay, just this is the exe file what I have. Okay, like sir, this is the exe file. Very simple, sir, because already one version is already there with me. Okay, like sir, that's all. Here what you can do, you are not required to do anything, just click next. That's all. Beyond that, nothing, sir. Okay, click. Okay, run. Okay, like run, like it is going to ask, sir, next, like it is telling that you are ready, sir. This is the public license agreements, like it is telling that, no problem at all, sir. Okay, now see program files git. Okay, well, now already exist. Would you like to install in that folder? Yes. Okay, like next, on the desktop, do you require icon or not? Additional icons, yes, on the desktop I require. Next, here just observe that git. Okay, like sir, here use, have you observed, right? Can you please observe that use a Vim editor, Vim as a Git default editor. Like, sir, multiple ways are, multiple things are available, sir. Notepad++, Visual Studio, Sublime Text Editor, Atom, okay, Visual Studio Code, some multiple editors you can use. Let me use a default Vim editor only. Okay, like, now here, like, next and after that, use a Git from Git bash only, Git from command line and also from third-party software. Use Git and optional Unix tools from the command prompt. Like, sir, usually better to select this one. Okay, Unix tools from the command prompt. Use Git and optional Unix tools from the command prompt. Observe very carefully, sir, because I want to use Unix commands also, something like, okay, better to select this. Use Git. Like, next, okay, see here, it is asking use OpenSSH, no problem at all. Yes, like, next, you are not required to do anything. Okay, like, yes, install. Like, your Git is going to be installed. Okay, in the Windows it's very easy, nothing will be there, sir. Okay, but anyway, so 1 or 2 days we will work on this. Okay, like, next and after that I will shift to our Ubuntu mission. Okay, next and after that, even we can go for cloud platform, GCP, AWS, how you can use that part also I will discuss. Because for DevOps, you have to familiar more with the cloud platforms, not on the local missions. Okay, that's why you people are going to get complete knowledge related to how you can work in the cloud. Okay, how one mission is going to be connected with another mission, like all complete picture you people are going to get. Don't worry, I will discuss in detail. Okay, just it's taking just a few seconds, don't worry. Yeah, I hope everyone in the position to install, nothing will be there. It is very easy thing, sir. Launch Git bash or view release notes, nothing, that's all, it is stopped, sir. Okay, well, now, sir, on the desktop, yeah, I got any icon like a Git bash? Can you please observe that? In the desktop, am I got any icon like a Git bash? Yes. Okay, like a Git bash came. Okay, even in the desktop, if it is not there, just in your start menu, you have to type Git bash. Okay, automatically Git command line, Git bash, like 2 apps are going to come. You require to use Git bash. Okay, like Git bash. Anyway, in the desktop already this one is there. Okay, let me click this one. That's all. Git bash is going to be open, sir. Here all your Linux commands also going to work, sir. Don't worry at all. Just you can increase the font. Okay, like, that's all, sir. Now, where we are, how I can find my current working directory? Can you please confirm how I can find my current working directory? pwd. Okay, pwd c:users Lenovo, like, I'm there. Okay, now let me move to D drive. Okay, now let me move to D drive, because it is a Windows based mission, right? That's why D drive I can. Now where I am in the D drive. Okay, like, now just I'm using, sir, here in the D drive, let me create one folder named with project 1. Okay, named with project 1, or otherwise let me create one folder mkdir. Okay, Git projects. Okay, one folder for all Git projects. I'm creating one main folder, Git projects, like. Okay, well, now let me enter into Git projects. Okay, like, sir, let me yes, nothing is there. Okay, like, sir, in these Git projects, I want to work for first project. That's why in this mkdir project 1. Okay, like, let me create, sir, cd project 1. Okay, like, sir, just observe our location. Now in the D drive, Git projects, like, one folder I created. In that one subfolder I created project 1. Now this project 1 will become my workspace. Any doubt? All the people are in the position to understand what is the meaning of. So I prepared my workspace. Okay, I prepared my workspace. Okay, like, now for this project 1, So can you please tell version control is available or not? Please confirm. Can you please tell either version control is applicable by default for the project 1 or not? No, no. Remember very carefully. So no, by default version control not available for your working directory. ls you can use, nothing is there. ls-a we can use, nothing is there. Nothing is there. Okay, like sir, here these two I told already in our Linux sessions. Have you remember, right? Every directory by default contain two hidden directories. Okay, one is current working directory, second one is the previous. Like these two things we are not required to worry at all, sir. Okay, like now my question is very important. Sir, Git doesn't aware about our workspace. Remember carefully, sir. Git doesn't aware about our workspace. Okay, like now I have to tell, sir, project 1 is my workspace. Okay, project 1 is my workspace. Now I have to tell, hey, Git, I want version control for this project 1. I want version control for this project 1. Can you please do the required? Can you please initialize repository for me? Because I want version control for this project 1. Okay, now this is my project 1. Okay, as of now it is empty, sir. I have to request Git saying for this project 1 I want version control. Means you are asking, can you please provide one repository for me to maintain different versions? Okay, like then immediately what the Git is going to provide is, Git is going to provide an empty repository. Remember this one, sir. What it's going to provide for your folder, for your directory? Empty repository. Empty repository. It's going to provide. So here observe carefully, right? You have to ask Git, can you please provide an empty repository for me, because version control required for this workspace. Okay, like how you can do that is git init is the command. Remember this one, sir. Git init is the command we require to use. Any doubt about this one, sir? What is the purpose of git init? To create, to provide or create an empty repository, to our workspace, so that okay, sir, version control is available. Version control is available to our working directory, Okay, like sir, can you please observe? Are you in the position to understand, right? So we have to use git init. That's all. What is the meaning of git init? Now the terminology is very clear for you people, right? Okay, sir, can we use absolute path with git init? No, just the git init. In which directory you required init, you required repository, in that you have to execute git init. That's all. Here no path, these type of things won't be there, Manish. Okay, like sir, now here observe that up to this my current working directory looks like this. Okay, empty, sir. Nothing is there. Nothing is there, sir. My current working directory is empty. Like current working directory is empty. Whenever we are using git init, now version control is applicable for this. Now immediately an empty repository will be provided. Okay, what is the name of this empty repository is this is what a local repository. What is the name is .git. Remember this one. What is that? Can you please spell out? What is the name? Everyone, can you please spell out, sir? What is the name? .git. Sir, if any folder or if any directory or file starts with dot, what is the meaning of this one? What is the meaning of this one? It is a hidden directory. It is the hidden directory. Remember carefully, sir, because it is not required it is not required to see. It is the hidden directory. Internally, this directory is available for version control purpose. Okay, like now let me go to my here. So for this, as of now, version control is not there. Version control is not there, sir. If you want here, let me go to that location. Let me go to that location. D drive. Git projects. In that Git projects, project 1 is there. Nothing. It is the empty, sir. Even in the view, I selected hidden items also. Even by default, it's the disabled, right? Even I selected hidden items also. View, select hidden items. Still, nothing is there. Even hidden things also not there. Okay, like now observe carefully. I'm using Git status. I'm using Git status. What is the response from the Git? Observe carefully, sir. In this directory, I'm asking about Git status. What is the response, sir? So immediately, Git is going to give left and right. Array, is a version control available for this directory? No. Then how you are using this command? What status I have to provide? Fatal, dangerous, sir. Fatal error means it's a too severe error. Not a Git repository. Then why you are using this Git status command like it is telling? Are you in the position to understand? Respond. Everyone in the position to understand clearly, right? Okay. Now what I have to take is Git 1 minute, sir. Sir, I don't know which commands are available. Okay, just Git enter. Now complete options you are going to get, sir. Git enter. If I use Git enter, all options by default we are going to get. Okay, 1 minute. Let me copy paste here. All options you will get. Okay, all options. Just I typed Git usage, sir. Like, sir, if you want to know what is the version, hyphen version, what is the version, hyphen version, like. Next and after that, there are common Git commands: clone, init. Can you please observe that? Create an empty Git repository or reinitialize an existing one. Create an empty Git repository or reinitialize an existing one. Sir, here have you observed? Add, we used already. Add file contents to index. Index like, sir, we have you observed? Commit, record changes to the repository. Next, pull, sir. Fetch from integrated with another repository or local. Push means update remote references along with associated objects. Something like it's going to tell very clearly, right? Okay, well, now my question is, I want sir, version control for this directory. Okay, like what I have to take is get, what is the command? Please confirm, I forgot. What is the command we require to use? Git init. Okay, like now, sir, can you please observe this line is very important line. Okay, here just this line itself is initialized empty Git repository in which locations are inside the projects .git an empty repository came, sir. Okay, now ls nothing. How you can see hidden files and directories? Please confirm. ls hyphen a. Okay, like now .git you can see. Okay, here if you observe that inside project 1, earlier .git is not there. Now the .git came, sir. Okay, remember. But anyway, make sure in your Windows machine you have to enable to view hidden files, hidden items. Then only it is available. By mistake, if you remove, then it won't be there, sir. Okay, like hidden items, then only it is available. Now it is very clear how you can create empty repository. Okay, now can I use Git status? Please confirm. Now can I use Git status or not? Yes. For this version control is available. Now it should not ask any question. On branch master, no commits yet, nothing to commit. Okay, like wow, wonderful. It is telling clearly. Any doubt? Friend? How you can install? How you can provide version control for your workspace? Okay, which command we require to use? Like a git init is the command we require to use. That's all. Now I have one small thing. Now, is there anything available? Is there anything available in Git or not? Can you please tell? Nothing will be there in the Git. Of course, nothing will be there in the Git. Now my question is, suppose let me go for one more project workspace I want to create. Go back. Project 1 is there. Let me create project 2. I'm creating project 2, sir. Okay, project 2. Now here, let me create cat a.txt, cat a.txt. I'm trying to cat, sir, I'm trying to a.txt. Okay, here first line, first line inside a.txt, first line inside a.txt, control D. Okay, like now cat b.txt I'm taking. Sir, first line inside, first line inside b.txt. Okay, like I'm trying to take, sir. Now my directory is not empty. Oh, sorry. I created inside Git projects, but I want this inside project 2. What I will take, move a.txt, b.txt to project 2. Okay, that's all. Let me go to project 2. Okay, like let me cross check. Yes, a.txt, b.txt is there. Well, now I have one important question. Now my project 2, I mean my workspace, is empty or not empty? Can you please confirm? Is it empty or not empty? Not empty. There are two files are already there, a.txt and b.txt is there. Now I'm using git init command. Init command. If I use git init command, now the local repository will be provided or not? Yes, local repository will be provided or not? Yes. Next, my question is, automatically these files will be added to that local repository or not? Yes or no? Automatically these files will be added to the local repository or not? Because my current working directory is not empty. There are some files are there. Is these files will be added to the local repository automatically or not? Yes or no? No. Git init always going to provide empty repository. Remember this one, sir. So if you have any files, you have to add, then only these files will be added to the repository. Otherwise, it is empty only. Remember carefully, right? Okay. Now let me go for CD project 2. Okay, like now I'm in the project 2, sir. Now here git init I'm taking. Git init I'm taking. Have you observed? Initialized empty git repository in D like this, right? Okay, clear, right? Okay, now observe that ls I'm taking. Two files are there. Git ls files I'm taking. Git ls files I'm taking. Can you please observe that? Do you have any output? Are you getting any output here? Respond. Are you getting any output here? No, we are not getting any output. What is the reason? You know that because my repository is empty, nothing is tracked yet. Any doubt? Please confirm. So don't feel unless and until if you are not adding explicitly, no file will be added to the repository. That's what you have to aware. Now I have one small question is there, sir. What my question is? Already my workspace is there. Now listen this diagram, sir. Okay, observe this case. I created already workspace. Okay, and then my repository already there. Under this repository contain already two files, a.txt and b.txt is there. Okay, assume that two. So one commit is there. That commit itself contain one commit itself. One commit is there. That commit contain these two files, right? Okay, well, these two files are already there. Now, if I use a git init command, what will happen? Are you getting? If I use git init command, what will happen? So it is going to reinitialize empty directory. Reinitialize empty directory means it will become empty, I hope. Yes, it will become empty, I hope. Let me cross check. Okay, what I want to take practical. Let me cross check this one. Sir, now anyway, in the same project 2, I will take git status. Okay, two files, untracked files are available. Now I want to add these files to the staging area. Get add dot. Can I use this one? Respond. Can I use this one? Git add dot. Yes, you can use this one, or otherwise you can use a.txt, b.txt, or otherwise You can use git add star.txt. Anything you can use, no problem at all. Sir, anyway, a.txt, b.txt. Yes, sir. Ignore these warnings because you are working from Windows area, right? Okay, there is a small issue is there. These are just warnings. Ignore this one. You won't get these warnings in reality. So there is a line separator. Okay, for that it is telling that LF line separator will be replaced in a.txt, something like it. You are not required to worry about this. Okay, like now, yeah, that right. Now observe the git status. Git status on branch master, no commits yet. These two things are required to commit. Okay, now git add. Okay, here git commit hyphen m git commit hyphen. So 1 minute, most of the people by mistake, by habitized git add a.txt b.txt, they're always using. Yes, meaningful word. Sir, similarly their hand is always going for git commit a.txt b.txt. No, you can't specify like this. Okay, remember this commit is always by default is going to consider from staging area whatever there. That's why you should not specify anything. Remember that. But compulsory you have to specify message. Okay, adding two files a.txt and b.txt, like this I'm taking, sir. Adding two files a.txt and b.txt, like this I'm taking. Okay, like, but make sure, sir, before this compulsory we have to do configurations, then only it will do. Have you remembered? Array, we didn't specify. Array, who is committing? What is his mail ID? You didn't configure. That's why, right? 1 minute. Let me show this one, sir. Here, have a look once. Okay, sir, git commit hyphen m. Okay, adding two files. Now immediately it is added maybe. So I configured email ID. Okay, earlier with the global keyword. That's why it is working, sir. Earlier I installed. That's why. If it is fresh new installation, then it will ask. Remember this one. Okay, like now here just take a bit very special care about this one, sir. Okay. Now what I have to take here is 1 minute, sir. Yeah, one minute here. Just observe that, sir. Here git log or git status I'm taking. Git status on branch master, nothing to commit. Working tree is clean. Now git log. Okay, like now observe that. Now we have a look once. Git log. This is the commit ID. Next other Durga, and this is my mail ID. Okay, like at what time it is committed, this is the commit message. I did already these configurations, right? So I hope it is clear for you people. Yes, friends. Sir, now how you can create workspace? In that, how you can initialize git? Next, how you can add files to the staging area? And then you can commit. Okay, like it's a very clear. Now my question is, now I want to use git init command. What will happen if my repository is not empty? Ls, two files are there. Git ls files. Okay, like two files are there. Now git log one commit is there, sir. Now what I have to take is here I want to consider git. Okay, git init I'm using. What it is going to take, sir? Git init I'm taking. Reinitialized existing git repository. Okay, like it is telling. Reinitialized existing repository. Like now, yes, my two files are available as it is. Git ls files. Two files are there. Okay, git log, even commits also there. Then what it is doing? Reinitializing means everything is available. Maybe internally the space may be refreshed, something like. Okay, if it is already git init, I mean already git initializer, calling git init reinitialization, nothing, there is no difference at all as of now. Yes, Manish, all the people are in the position to understand. Even after git init again, we are not seeing any difference, okay, because all files are available. Yes, files are there. Git ls hyphen files are there. Next and after that git okay, here git what we can log, yes, everything is already available, right? Okay, that's why. So git init, even you are calling by mistake second time, nothing will be happen, don't worry at all. That's it. So as of now, what is the purpose of how you can what is the use of git init command? I hope it's clear for you. Next and after that, how you can add the files to staging area? Any doubt? How you can add the files to staging area? Any doubt about this? Okay, well, next and after that, git commit hyphen m, how you can provide commit message, okay, like it is also clear for you people, right? Now I have one small doubt is there, sir. Listen carefully, these words are very important, observe carefully. Now what my requirement is, sir, if I use git status on branch master, nothing to commit, working tree is clean. Okay, listen carefully, working tree is clean, okay, like yeah, git log will not list which files are committed. Manish, it is not going to list which files are committed, but which files are there, there is a way to find. That part we will discuss in the next. Don't worry, it is always going to tell commit. Yes, your total content is available in this commit id. It is a hash, sir, which is going to represent your file content. Remember, which is going to represent your file content. Okay, so you can get which files are there in the particular commit. There are some comments are there, don't worry, we will discuss next. Here one small thing I have to discuss here. Now a.txt b.txt already tracked by okay, git or not? Can you please confirm? Very important point I want to talk. Please listen carefully. Is it already tracked or not? Yes, it's already tracked. Now what I want to take is, let me modify these files. Okay, cat a.txt second line, just I added control D. Next cat b.txt, sir, second line, just I added control D. Okay, now if I use git status, yes, modified, everything is expected or not? Modified. Okay, well, now I want to commit these changes. Can you please tell what is the way, sir? I want to commit these changes. What is the way? Please confirm. First we have to add a.txt b.txt. Okay, and then we have to commit hyphen m. Okay, sir, here commit message, something like you have to type. This is usually, but if the files already tracked by git command, we can combine these two things into a single git commit hyphen a hyphen m, sir, commit message. Observe this carefully. It will add changes to the staging area and then commit with this message. Are you getting what is this command, sir? But make sure this concept is not, this shortcut is not applicable for newly created files. This shortcut is applicable already the files tracked by git. Okay, so directly we can combine these two things. Okay, with this only for modified files only. Yes, this type of thing is applicable. Now observe that. Let me cross check. Git commit hyphen a hyphen m. Okay, hyphen a hyphen m. Okay, modified a.txt and b.txt. Okay, like this I'm taking, sir. Okay, modified a.txt and b.txt. Okay, like sir, here just modified a.txt and so on. Yes, now observe git log. How many commits will be there? Please confirm. How many commits will be there now? Respond. Git log. How many commits are there? Yes, 2 commits are there. This is the, sir, this is second commit, and this one is the first commit. Okay. Second commit we did at 9:34, but second commit we did, I mean first commit we did at 9:34, second commit we did at 9:41. Is that clear for you people? Yes. Any doubt up to this? Okay, so what you require to do is install Git on the Windows machine, and then so whatever commands I cover, just a better to practice. Okay, Git init, one command I covered. Next and after that Git init, one command I covered. Git yard, okay, Git commit, Git status, okay, Git status, and then Git log, okay, like next Git ls files, okay, normal ls, okay, like just these are things you people should aware. In the next session, I will briefly explain. I will briefly give, sir, what these commands are going to do. Already you aware, just practice, familiar with the terminology. Okay, so that we will continue further. Yeah, so even this shortcut also we covered. Git commit -a-m followed by, sir, commit message you can take, but make sure this is applicable only for modified files, not for the new files. Okay, clear? Yes. Okay, now Nirmal is asking one small doubt. Okay, can we specify particular modified file for commit directly? Yes, why not? Here what, here this shortcut won't work. This shortcut won't work. What you have to take is git yard only b.txt. I want git yard only b.txt, and then git commit -m. Sorry, here commit message. Are you getting? Commit message like sir, here for commit message you can use either single quote or double quote, no problem at all. Single quote you can use or double quote you can use, no issue at all. Clear? Everyone in the position to understand? Slowly we are entering into the Git world. That's why better to practice these things up to this. Okay, right, sir, thank you. Hi friends, in the last video we covered an example, okay, to explore, to get a basic idea, okay, to explain, yes, what is working directory, next staging area, and the local repository, like to explore these things we covered already an example. Okay, sir, even we discussed about how you can install, okay, Git in our Windows operating system. Next, a small example we discussed, right? Sir, now my intention in this session is because of the basics you have to strong. That's why what I'm trying to take one more example I want to discuss. Next, all these commands in detail we are going to discuss. I mean, in detail means so I will give importance for the commands, because in the first example you may explore the commands and the areas, staging area, working directory, next local repository, this terminology well. Now you have to get much clarity, right? So one more example, okay, one more example I have to discuss, okay, to describe basic Git operations, right? Sir, what operations we covered in the last sessions? Basic Git commands instead of operation, basic Git commands, okay, like we discussed multiple commands, right, in the last session, right? Now, sir, let me explain each and every command in detail, so that if you are going to listen second time, you people will get much clarity about this one, sir. Okay, these basics are very important, right? Sir, I want to start Git bash. Okay, so Git bash. Okay, this is Git bash. I want to start here. Just have a look once, sir. Okay, well, So now let me go to D drive. Okay, in this I created one folder git projects ls project 1 is there, sir. Okay, like now let me take let me create a new project, sir. Mkdir project 2. Okay, like now observe the terminology, the various commands. You have to get a complete picture. That is the main agenda of this session, sir. Okay, like sir, now let me enter into project 2 directory, right? Okay, like sir, now observe ls. Do you have anything here? Nothing, sir. Now my question is, for this project 2, for this project 2, okay, version control is applicable or not? Can you please confirm? Sir, what is this project 2? Project 2 itself is my working directory. For this version control is applicable or not? Please confirm each and every person, friends. Okay, is it version control? Is it applicable or not? No. So it is my project 2 directory. Sir, it is my workspace project 2, which is nothing but my workspace. For this version control is not applicable. Okay, if I use git status such type of command, okay, like observe that git status such type of command, it is telling that not a git repository, how you can use this command, like it is giving left and right. Okay, because version control is not applicable, then there is no question of using any git command. Okay, like now I have to request okay, git saying, so I want a version control for this project 2. I want a version control for this project 2. Can you please provide a local repository for me? Can you please provide a local repository for me? Like I have to request git. How you can request a git? Can you please confirm, sir? That thing. Anyone, can you please tell what is the command I require to use? Git init. Remember this. Now observe very carefully, sir. Once we create workspace, okay, if we want a version control, if we want a version control, then we require a repository. Okay, remember this. We require a repository. Who is the responsible to provide that repository, sir? Git itself is the responsible. Okay, now I have to ask, Git, can you please provide okay a local repository? Because version control is required for me. Like how you can do that? By using git init is the command we require to use. Any doubt about this one, sir? So if I use git init now, so in my working directory, okay, a separate repository will be provided by git. What that repositories are? Local repository. What is the name of this local repository? What is the name of this local repository is, can you please confirm, sir? What is the name of this local repository? Dot git. Okay, this is the directory. This dot git directory itself is nothing but git directory itself is nothing but can you please confirm what is this? Respond. What is this one? Dot git itself is nothing but directory. This directory is called local repository. Remember this one, sir. Local repository. Repo, like next one more, sir. Dot, if any file or directory starts with the dot, means sir, this one itself is hidden directory. This one itself is hidden directory. Okay, that's all, sir. Now any explanation is required about git init command? Can you please confirm? Yes, friends, the first command we used. Is it clear for all of you, right? So if I create workspace, I want version control. Okay, to implement version control, to do version control. Okay, so if you want to maintain versions, we require a repository. Who is the responsible to provide that repository? Git itself is the responsible to provide that repository. Okay, what how you can request Git to provide that local repository? Git init itself is the command we require to use. Okay, now have a look once. ls-a. Okay, can you please provide hidden files also? Hyphen a means all. Can you please provide hidden files also? Like now observe that, sir, here only two hidden directories are there. Of course we covered, sir, except that nothing is there. Of course these two things are available in every directory. In every directory in Linux contain two hidden files. One is a dot, second one is two dot. One dot means current working directory, two dot means parent directory. Okay, like we covered already in the Linux. Sir, if you want to get perfection with respect to the Git, with respect to okay Devops, compulsory you should have clear clarity on the Linux. Remember that almost the people who are attending this session, we spend 1.5 months only on the Linux area. You should be very strong friends. Okay, like if you are not familiar with the Linux, but please make sure in your mind compulsory you should have clear clarity on the Linux. Then only better to come to Devops. Otherwise, everywhere there are n number of questions will be there in your mind. Better to strong in the Linux area. Okay, like so now here, now observe that git init is a command I'm using. First command I'm using, sir, git init. Sir, initialized empty git repository in so and so. Okay, like it is telling, sir, initialized empty git repository. Like sir, now observe initialized empty git repository. Okay, like the git project to dot git. Yes, this dot git itself is by default considered as local repository. Okay, everyone in the position to understand, right? Now if I use the word ls hyphen a, yes, observe that dot git. Am I getting this one or not? Please confirm. Yes, friends. Okay, clear? Was your ready? We will discuss that. Yes, up to this is the clear for all of you, right? Okay, well, so this is the first command what I have to discuss. Okay, now what I want to use is clear for you people, right? So git init. Now I want to use git status. Okay, like I want to use the second commonly used commands are git status. Remember this one, sir, we used already in the last example. This one, even in this example also I used already git status. Sir, now is it possible to use git status now? Please confirm. Because repository is already available, version control is already available, then happily you can use git status. Now it never going to tell, oh, you should not use, like it never going to use the word. Now observe that. So on branch master, no commits yet, nothing to commit. Like it is clearly telling, we are not required to. Okay, it is not telling you should not use it. You can use, but currently nothing to commit. Okay, like it is telling, sir. So what the git status is going to provide, very important, sir. It shows the current status. It shows the current status of all files in each area. Remember this one, sir. It shows the current status of all files in each area. Like untracked, any file is untracked or not, untracked file. Next, and after that, modified files, modified files. Next, staged files, staged files, etc. Okay, current status of every file. If you want to know the status of each and every file, then we have to use git status is the command. Is it clear for all of you, right? Yes, can you please tell what is the purpose of git status? What is the purpose of git status, right? Sir, now what I want to take is just observe carefully, right? Sir, here let me create a file. Okay, cat file1.txt I'm taking, sir. Just observe that file1.txt. So we can use cat command to create a file with some content. Okay, now I'm taking first line. Okay, first line in file1.txt. First line in file1.txt. Assume that, sir. Okay, control D. Okay, now one file is ready. Okay, cat file2.txt. cat file2.txt. Okay, this is first line in file2.txt. In file2.txt. Like this I'm taking, sir. Control D. Okay. Now, how many files I created in my working directory? Can you please confirm, sir? How many files I created in my working directory? 2 files, sir. Sir, what the first one? File1.txt. File1.txt. Next one after that, file2.txt. Now, I have my question is, Is these two files tracked by Git or not? Please confirm. No, no, no. Sir, when the Git starts tracking of these files, yes, whenever we are adding these files to staging area, but we didn't, that's why now immediately it's going to tell if I can ask a Git status. Now observe that clearly. Okay, on branch master, no commits yet. These are untracked files. Boss, these files are not tracked by Git. Untracked files, file1.txt, file2.txt. Any doubt about this one? Please confirm, sir. So clear for all of you, right? What is the status? Every time we can use git status command anyway. What is the purpose of status command? The purpose of git status command is it shows the current status of all files in each area, like untracked files, modified files, and then staged files. Clear, right? Okay, well, sir, now I have one small doubt. Okay, legend. Okay, I can use the word, sir. Now here, if you want to get, if you are using git status, sir, complete verbose output you are getting. What is the meaning of verbose output? Is complete detailed output we are getting, sir. Correct or not? Correct or not? We are getting complete detailed output on branch master, no commits yet, untracked files, these and so on. Sir, I want a concise output. Okay, concise output, sir. So if you want a concise output, okay, if we want concise output, okay, concise output, what we require to use is we have to use -s option with the git status command. Okay, remember the git status -s option, which is going to provide very concise output. Remember this one, sir. Okay, like sir, now in the next we never going to discuss git status, even we are using multiple times. That's why let me talk here only. Okay, git status -s I'm taking, sir. Sir, earlier without -s, observe, if I use git status -s, now observe that only two files. Of course, only two files. Why these two files? Here, these are not tracked. These are not tracked. That's why question mark it's going to provide. Don't worry at all. These are not tracked. Okay. Now what I'm trying to take is, now observe very carefully, sir. Git add file1.txt. Sir, is it what the git add command will do? Yes, can you please observe that? Git add command, what it's going to do? Sir, add command, we are adding files to staging area. Git add command, right? Of course, you have that basic knowledge. Okay, we will discuss. Now observe that. Sir, now have a look once. Sir, forget about this wording. I told right. Okay. Sir, git add file1.txt. One file added to staging area. Sir, one file still in the current working directory only. Sir, one file is already added to staging area. Now have a look once, sir. Now I'm using the word git status. Now observe that. Array, one file changes to be committed. This is the new file. But still, this second file is untracked. Still, the second file is untracked. Correct or not? Okay. Now, git status -s. Okay. Now, added. Have you observed, right? Added. But still, this file is untracked. I hope, are you seeing concise output, right? Yes, friends, can you please confirm? Are you seeing concise output, right? Yes, A question mark, M, something like, if you want concise output -yes, but very rare we are going to use. Most of the times we are always going to use git status. So which files are staged area, which files are untracked, like complete status of every file. Okay, it shows the current status of all files in each area. For that git status command we require to use. Any doubt about git status? Please confirm. Yes, friends. What is the purpose of git status? Any explanation is required about this one? And then git status -yes. Okay, clear. Now, the third command, what we have to discuss. Sir, up to these two commands we covered. Git init already we covered. Git status we covered, sir. Now, the third command, git add. Just now we covered. Anyway, just observe that because more options I want to discuss. Git add command, right? Sir, what is the meaning of git add command? Very simple. To add the files from which area? Please confirm. To add files from respond. I forgot. From working directory working directory to staging area. To add files from working directory to staging area, we require to use git add command. Remember this one, sir. To add files from working directory to staging area, we require to use git add command. Once we added files to staging area, then git tracks these files and ready for commit. Remember this one, sir. Once we added these files to the staging area, okay, then git starts tracking of these files and ready for commit. Remember a bit carefully, sir. I showed even the example also, sir. Git add, I use git add file1.txt. That's why changes to be committed, sir. It is in staged area, changes to be committed, but this one is untracked file. Okay, like now observe that this is about git add command, right? But here one small point I have to tell, sir. Staging area also known as, do you have any doubt about this one? Can you please tell? Staging area is also known as staging area is also known as, okay, is index area, or we can use the word cache also. Cache area. Some people may use the word cache area. It is a logical or virtual area, but not a physical area. Okay, that's why. So can you please show staging area in your system? Like don't ask. It is virtual area but not physical area. Sir, Git can understand this area. Okay, like sir, that's all. Next, if you want to add the files, what are various options are there, sir? Sir, now here just observe that to add all files in current working directory. To add all files in current working directory. Can you please tell, sir? What is the command we require to use? Git. We respond git add dot. Okay, git add dot. We can use the word. Okay, this is the very common, sir. Very common. Git add dot. Sir, compulsory this dot we have to specify. By default, it's not going to consider. Dot compulsory you have to specify. Okay, like next maybe some more other options may be there. Don't worry, sir. Now to add particular files. To add particular files. Sir, I want only file1.txt or I want only file2.txt. Git add file1.txt, file2.txt. Okay, like whatever files you want to use, happily you can add, no problem at all. Any doubt? Please confirm. Are you in the position to understand, right? Okay. Yes. Okay. Next, third one. Okay, now my requirement, we can use even regular expression patterns also. Regular expression patterns also like git add. Can you please add all Java files or can you please add all txt files? Okay, like you can use. So even patterns also happily you can use. Is it clear, right? So what is the meaning? What is the meaning of how you can add all the files? Okay, like sir, next how you can add a particular file? How you can add based on the pattern? I want to add only .txt files. I want only .java files. Happily you can use, no problem at all. Clear, right? Everyone in the position to understand? Not required to keep any explanation. Okay, like now I'm using git add. Okay, dot. Is it acceptable? Yes. Okay, acceptable. Git add star I'm taking. Have you observed? It's also acceptable. Star means everything, sir. Git add star.txt. No problem at all. It is acceptable. Okay, like now have a look once, sir. So which files are there in the current working directory? These two files are there. Which files are there in the staged area are tracked by Git? Sir, what is the command we require to use? Git. I want to know which files. Tracked by Git. Which files? ls-files. Remember this one. You forgot it seems. Okay. So Git ls-files, ls-files. Okay, like now observe that both the files are tracked by git. Now if you want git status, okay, now these are two new files are changes to be committed. Any doubt? So how you can add the files, like it's a very clear for you people, right? Please respond. Yes, Kumar Swami is asking something like, okay, sir, this one and star, even this one is also same, star, even some people may use the word, okay, git add, okay, hyphen a, I hope. Correct, right? Was there already? Git hyphen, yeah, git add hyphen a means, okay, this one is going to add all files. Okay, instead of that, this one is the easiest thing, right? Okay, next, sir, is it possible to add like this or not? Git add star.txt and then star.java. Okay, like what it is going to be accepted, sorry, what it's going to be accepted. Okay, like sir, just observe that git add star.txt. Next, if any .java files are there, like, okay, here have you observed pathal star did not match any files, no problem at all, sir, still it is considering. Have you observed? Still it is considering, but no matched files are available, like, so means happily you can use git add star.java star.txt, something like acceptable. Any doubt? Yeah. So we can remove the files from staging area, all those. That is the next level concept. Just observe carefully. Sir, what is the meaning of git add? Okay, so up to this we cover 3 commands, right? Git init already completed. Now git status already completed. Okay, next git init, git status. Next, and after that git add we covered, right? Next, even git ls-files to list out all the files which are tracked by git. Next, a simple ls means it is the Linux command which is going to show the files present in current working directory. Okay, like we can use. Sir, up to this, okay, well, can I go to the next level? Yes, friends. Okay, now, sir, the files are available where? Can you please confirm where the files are available, sir? The files are available where? The files are available in staging area. Now we have to perform which operations are commit. Are you getting? Commit, like, sir, here the next command what we have to use, git commit. Remember very carefully about this one, sir. Git commit. This is the command we require to use. So if we want to commit staged changes, okay, if we want to commit staged changes, okay, then we require to use commit command, right? Okay, then we have to use git commit, right? Sir, here take very special care about this one. What I'm trying to take, git commit. Sir, some people are always asking, some people asked even in the last session also, sir, git add a.txt, b.txt, but here git commit a.txt, is it possible or not? No such type of option. Whatever changes are there in the staging area, by default those changes will be committed. That's why here argument such type of which files are going to be committed, so simply the files which are there in the staging area. That's all, sir. Sir, next, is commit message, is it mandatory or not? Can you please confirm? Yes, commit message is the mandatory. Remember a bit very carefully, sir. Sir, whenever we are using commit, like, sir, now take a bit very special care about this one, sir. Whenever we are using commit operation, okay, for every commit, a unique commit ID will be generated. Remember a bit carefully, sir. Next, for every commit, a unique commit ID will be generated. This commit ID is also known as a hash. Okay, this commit ID is also known as hash, which is hexadecimal number. Hexadecimal number, sir, of how many characters, right? 40 characters. I will show all these things, right? Okay. For every commit, a unique commit ID will be generated. Remember this one, sir. This commit ID is also known as hash, which is hexadecimal number of 40 characters. Any doubt? Can you please confirm? Everything is clear for you people, right? Okay. So a hash, which is the hexadecimal number. Okay, like next, here take a bit very special care about this one, sir. Staged changed. What is that? Staged changes. Staged changes means, sir, here commit staged changes means whatever files added in staging area, those things are by default considered as staged changes. Okay. Whatever changes are there in the staged area, like now here just for every commit, okay, git records, okay, multiple things, right? Sir, who is the author name and a mail id. Next, timestamp for every commit it's going to maintain timestamp and a git message and sir commit message and a commit message. Everything is going to be tracked, everything is going to be recorded by git, sir. Okay, where is the proof for that? Okay, git commit -m sir, new files added. Okay, like I took, sir. Okay, now observe very carefully, sir. Sir, here just take a bit special care about this one. Here just observe, whenever we are using the word git command, sir, master root command. Okay, like new files added. New files added is my commit message. Okay, how many files added, right? 2 files changed, 2 insertions means are 2 insertions. Okay, like next, create mode 100644 like sir, some people may ask what is this 100. Okay, like you should aware. Next, what you are asking, I hope this number, right? Maybe this is how many characters are there? Can you please confirm? Respond, how many characters are there here? Okay, how many characters are there? 7 characters are there. I will talk about this, don't worry. Okay, now if I use git log, 1 minute, git log, like now have a look once. Of course, git log command I will discuss, don't worry, son. Here observe that carefully. The first 7 characters of the git id. Okay, the first 7 characters of the git id is this one. Correct, right? Yes, the first 7 characters are not. Okay, sir, now my question is the git id is unique or not? Please confirm. Is the git id is the unique or not? Hey, respond. Git id is the unique or not? Yes, how many characters are there in this git id? How many characters are there in this git id? It is the hexadecimal number. If you want, you can observe a to f and 0 to 9. A to f 0 to 9 only. It is the hexadecimal number. How many characters are there? Okay, 40. Don't count. Okay, we have some command is there, right? Echo -n. Just let me copy these 40 characters. Okay, now wc -c. Have you remembered? Right? Okay, word count command. Can you please display, okay, all this data? In this data, how many characters are there? Can you please provide? Okay, like why I'm taking -n means echo command is always going to add new line character at last. Don't add new line character. Okay, it is the purely Linux terminology, don't worry. Just here observe that how many characters are there? 40 characters are there. Okay, so this unique id can be used to represent our commit. Remember that, right? Okay, but make sure one more small important point. Sir, commit id is a unique or not? Please confirm. Commit id is unique or not? Unique. Okay, which can be used to identify commit. Sir, in the future, if I want to refer so and so commit, okay, like how many characters I have to aware? Please confirm. How many characters I have to aware? Tomorrow if I want to refer, how many characters I have to aware? Remember that. Okay, generally 40, but no. The first 7 characters also. the first 7 characters also unique, sir. The first 7 characters also unique, no problem at all. So by using these 7 characters only, you can identify in the next git commands, in the next concepts. I'm always going to use 7 characters only to refer a particular commit. I will show that. Don't worry at all. Just aware this point in your mind. Okay, clear, right? Yes, friends. Okay, what about git commit? What about git commit? Okay, clear for you people, right? Not required to keep any explanation about this one. So, is it possible to change timestamp for a commit? I don't think. Okay, it is already recorded. Okay, now here just take a bit special care. For every commit ID will be there. Next and after that, who is the other? Durga. Next, what is his mail ID? durgasoft9@. Next, at what time it is committed? At what time it is committed? Sir, what is the commit message? This complete information internally will be maintained by Sir Git. Any doubt? Everyone in the position to understand clearly, right? Yes, friends. Can you please confirm what about git commit? Git commit. Yeah. Okay, Viraj is asking a small doubt. Okay, just observe that. What is his Viraj's doubt is, sir, is it possible to commit one new file, one modified file at once? Is it by using git-m? Yes. Yes, you can do that. No problem at all. Okay. Next, which hash function used here? Okay, which hash function used here? SHA-1 hash function. Okay, SHA-1 function, SHA-2 function, like there are some security, cryptography algorithms are available. Here, which function used in the Git is SHA-1. Okay, remember just, yeah. After commit staged area become free? No. The files are available in the staged area. The files are available in the working area. The files are available in the repository. Okay, like everywhere these files are there. Yeah. Redundancy will be high? No. Don't worry. So because working area files are required, okay, for further modifications. Next, repository, the data must be required. Repository, the data must be required for versioning. Next, the staging area, whatever we are using, it is a virtual space only, not physical space. Then where is the question of redundancy? Ashutosh. Clear, right? Any doubt? Yeah. Now, sir, here it's a very clear about this one, sir. So how no file is still available in the staging area or not? Yes, we used already. Okay. So ls git ls-files. You can use the one. Git ls-files. Still there? Okay. Next, one more thing I will cover. Now here, up to this, sir, we created a file. Now observe very carefully, sir. Sir, this is my local repository, working directory. Here local repository is also there. I created 2 files. file1.txt and file2.txt. These 2 files I added. These 2 files I added in the these 2 files I added here. So inside these 2 files I added inside the repository. Assume that, sir, with a single commit. Okay. Now, sir, I want to modify these files. Is it possible to modify or not? I want to modify these files further. Yes, why not? We can do that. Okay. This time what I want to take is git. Here just observe that cat -. What is this one, sir? What is this one? Sir, this symbol means greater than. What it means? Append operation. Okay. file1.txt. Now this is extra line added. To file1.txt. Okay, like I'm taking, sir. That's all. Sir, now observe carefully. So if I can use git status, sir, this is modified. It is always objecting about file 1. Because why it is not objecting about file 2? Why it is not objecting about file 2? The reason for that is file 2 content won't be changed. So local repository and our working directory. So with respect to file 2, sir, same up to date. That's why Git is always a track. Is there any change in the content or not? Only change in the content is file 1. Okay, that's all. Now I have to add file 1 to staging area, and then I require to commit. Okay, remember this. So first git add file 1.txt. Okay, we are not required to add file 2.txt. Next, and after that git commit sir -m modified in modifications happen, or otherwise file 1 modified, file 1.txt got modified. Okay, like I'm using the word. Just observe. So now my question is, first we require to add to the staging area, and then we have to perform commit operation. But this file is already available in the staging area or not? Is it already available in the staging area or not? Yes. If it is already available in the staging area, we are not required to add separately. Directly git command -a -m. Okay, now sir, you can take this message. Okay, like, sir, clear, right? Git commit -a -m. Okay, like, sir, -a means adding to staging area. And then can you please commit with this message? Okay, this file is already there in the staging area, that's why. But if the file is newly created, sorry man, this concept is not going to work. Somewhere we covered, right? Yes, friends, in the last session we covered about this point also. Please make sure, just for your clarity sake, for your perfection sake, I'm telling second time. Okay, that's all. Now, sir, one file changed. This time one file changed, one insertion. One file changed. This time only one insertion. One insertion, like it is going to tell. It is not newly created file also. Okay, like now, here, what I'm taking, git log. Sir, total, how many commits are there, sir? 2 commits are there. This is the second commit. This is the first commit. So first commit followed by second commit, like 2 commits are available. Is it clear? Any explanation about commit? Please confirm. Okay, only two commands are used. What is the first command? Git commit. Next, and after that -m, and then commit message. So sometimes if you want, you can use this one also. But anyway, why this type of option is available? If the file is already tracked by Git, that's it. This is about git commit. Next, one more small thing I have to discuss, right? Sir, here in the commit message, here whenever you are using commit first time, it is telling that, okay, like, have you remembered create mode, like it is telling. Sir, what is 100? What is 100? Okay, like 100 644. What is the meaning of that, sir? Sir, here in this, the first 3 characters is going to represent, sir, the type of file or the format. The type of file. Okay. So 100 means ASCII text data. Okay, like format, file format, car content type. So the first 3 characters, 100 means, sir, the type of the file. It is ASCII text data. Okay, like 644 means, file permissions. In the Linux, we covered very clearly about file permissions, right? Sir, can you please tell 6 means, what is the 6? Respond. What is the 6? Sir, read means 4. Next, write means 2. Execute means 1. One like 644 file permissions, right? Sir, 6 means RW hyphen. Okay. 4 means R hyphen. Sir, R hyphen. The first 3 owner permission, next user permission, next 3 group permission, next 3 other permissions, right? Sir, this is now if you want, let me cross check ls-l. Sir, what is the permissions related to our files is? Are you seeing 644 here? Please confirm. Are you seeing 644 here? Yes, this is 6, next 4, 4 like. So if any new file is going to create, it is going to maintain the mode. The first 3 characters represent which type of content it is. What is the Git format? Next 3 characters are file permissions. But anyway, these things are not required. It is internal thing. Still, if you want, you can aware. That's all, sir. So up to this, we covered very clearly git init command. Sorry, git init command. Next and after that, git status command. Next git add command. Next git commit command, right? Next one more thing I have to discuss, git log. Of course, I used multiple times, right? Sir, git log command, right? Sir, here one small thing I have to talk before going for the git log. Sir, do you know what this one, sir? Can you please spell out? What is this? Respond. Commit ID. Commit ID. Correct or not? This is the commit ID. What is the main advantage? What is the main advantages, sir, of this hash? What are the main advantages of this hash? The biggest advantage is security. Security. Even if any person, if I show this code to any person, so they can't understand anything. Sir, tomorrow our repository got hacked. Now they are trying to find the data. It is always available in the hash form, not in the director form. So then there is no problem at all. Our data is always safe. Okay, only Git can understand this data. Remember this one, sir. It is the biggest advantage is security. Second advantage, sir, even you have huge data also, it's always going to store by using these 40 characters only. That's why less space. Git required less space when compared with the other version control systems. These are main advantages of this unique ID or this hash. Remember that. Clear? Are you in the position to understand? Okay. Now the next command, what I have to discuss, right? Git log command. Yeah, we are not required to keep any explanation about this one. Sir, what is the git log? What is this command is going to provide, sir? Sir, here git log, it shows history of all commits. History of all commits. It shows history of all commits, right? Okay. So which information it's going to provide? Commit ID. It's going to provide commit ID. Next and after that, other name and a mail ID. Other name and a mail ID. Next and after that, timestamp. Next, even commit message. For every commit, it is going to provide this information. Commit ID, other name and mail ID, timestamp, and the commit message. Like this is it's going to provide, sir. Now observe that carefully. Git log. If you can observe, sir, for every commit, this is one commit, this is one commit. So what is the commit ID? What is the commit ID? Next and after that, here what is the other name? Next and at what time this commit is happened? Next and after that, no files added. Okay, like a new files added, like a commit message, like this is. Next, the most common user command is the git log, sir. We have to discuss, we require to perform postmortem on this because multiple options are available for the git log. As a separate topic, I will discuss mostly in the next. Don't worry, sir. If you want git log -help. Okay, what is this one, sir? Can you please spell out? Git log -help. If I can use the word, okay, now observe carefully, right? Multiple options which are available with the log. Multiple options which are available with the log we are going to get. Okay, just observe this git log manual page. Show commit logs. Sir, like a description, -, follow, no decorate. It is open documentation. It is going to tell decorate, source. Okay, log size, array based on the size, it is going to tell. Next and after that, do you know? So multiple options are available. Don't worry, sir. All these things we are going to discuss. Mostly some commonly required options we will discuss, no problem at all in the next step. But believe me, somewhere we are going to discuss these things in detail. Okay, like that. Okay, well, Manish, that point only we are going to discuss. Don't worry, sir. Yeah. Next, here what is the somewhere we are seeing always. What is this head and the master? This part we are going to discuss. Master is name of the branch. Branch like head is head commit, the most recent commit. Okay, the most recent commit. Okay, like getting. Who is asking this question? Nirmal. Okay, it is the master branch, branching and merging concept supported by Git, right? So there I will talk about that. Head is a reference which is pointing to the master. Okay, like sir, this is we will discuss. But anyway, the time came or otherwise, just observe carefully, right? Here just observe. Matter of one minute, I will discuss this one. Here in the repository, how many commits will be there, sir? Can you please confirm? Multiple commits are there. Assume, sorry. 1 minute. Wait for a minute. This basic idea also must be required for you people. Sir, this is my repository. Okay, assume that. Sir, in this, assume this is my first commit. Okay, commit. This is the second commit. This is the third commit. Okay. Fourth commit. Next and after that here fifth commit, like sir, multiple commits are there. Okay, like now master is a branch name, correct or not? Can you please confirm? Master is a branch name. Of course, internally it is a reference. Pointing to, okay, the most recent commit in that repository. Remember carefully, sir. The most recent commit in that repository. So master is a branch name. At the same time, it is a reference to the most recent commit. Remember, multiple commits are there. Multiple versions are there. Sir, the most recent commit. Master is always pointing to most recent commit. Okay, like sir, so master is appointed by another reference. What is that reference? Is head. Remember this one, sir. Head reference. Head is pointing to the master. Master is pointing to the commit. Okay, remember a bit carefully. Here you may not get that much clearly, but in the next sessions, whenever we are using this head, master, there you will get much clarity. So head is a reference to another reference. Correct or not? Please confirm. Head is a reference to another reference. It is a reference variable. Reference to another reference. Okay. This reference is also known as symbolic reference. Okay. Symbolic reference. Symbolic reference means a reference to another reference. Okay. Like head is a reference to master. Master is always pointing to most recent commit. Now, if you observe that, have a look once. How many commits are there? Can you please confirm? How many commits are there? 2 commits. How many commits? 2 commits. Head is pointing to which one? Array. Head is pointing to one? Master. Head is pointing to master. Master represent which one? This commit. Are you getting? Master represents which commit? Recent commit. Okay. That's all. Just aware this one. But anyway, master is the branch name, of course, which is always pointing to. Master is the branch name, which is always pointing to the recent commit. Okay. To point to this master, head must be required. But anyway, in our next level, this head we can change to somewhere else also. Okay, somewhere else also. It is possible, sir. We can change head to somewhere else also. Don't, sir, what we call, don't get confusion. Sir, once that concept is going to come, yes, we are always going to discuss in detail. Ashutosh. Getting right? But anyway, don't worry. It is a bit next level terminology, but just a basic idea sake for the future purpose, I'm covering this one. So here, Sir, repository contain a sequence of commits. Okay, like the most recent commit pointed by master. Next, head is a reference variable which is pointing to the master reference variable. It is a symbolic reference. Okay, like clear? Ashutosh, we here the internally what data structure it's going to use, we are not sure. We can't use the word stack or queue also. Okay, like yeah. Okay, that's all. Sir, this is about what is sir git log command. Okay, like next one more thing I have to discuss, right? Yeah. Was there already? Yes. One more thing I have to discuss for you. What that important conclusion is git config. This one also we used already in the last git config command also we used this one, sir. We remember, right? Git config. So git config to know git configurations. Okay, so git config command, git config command can be used for git configurations. Okay, like username, mail id, etc. Remember this one: username, mail id, etc. Like git config is the command we are going to use. Okay, like now my requirement is git very important, sir. Config hyphen list. Array, in this git, which configurations are already configured? Can you please list out? All configurations? Can you please list out all configurations? Okay, like you may. I want to show, sir, to list out all git configurations. To list out all git configurations. Git configurations. Okay, like sir, here just observe. Let me use this command so that you can get much clarity here. Just observe that config hyphen list. Oh, okay, multiple things are available, sir. Are you seeing anywhere? Yes, sir, these things. Forget about the remaining. Once the time comes, I will explain about remaining. As of now, just aware these configurations. Sir, observe which configurations are there. User.name, user.email. Okay, like these configurations, I hope you aware. Clear? Yes, respond, friends. Yes, clear, right? Okay. Sir, I want to know only which user, what is the username configured in this git? Sir, git, okay, git config, user.name. You can ask, it will display what is the username, sir. It will display what is the username like. So what username, sir? Durga. Okay. What is email? What is the email? You can ask. This is the email which is configured. Okay, like now you may ask, sir, I want to change the mail. I want to change the mail ID. I want to change, okay, like I want to change the mail ID and I want to change, okay, username. Like, is it possible or not? Why not? Okay, git config. Now user dot name. Git config user dot name is what is the user dot name? Assume that Ravi I'm using. Now observe very carefully, sir. Git config user dot name Ravi I'm using. Next, git config user dot mail. Okay. Anyway, like that you can change mail ID also. Okay. Durga soft online training @gmail.com. So is it possible or not? Yes, observe carefully, right? Here one small twist is there. That part I will take care. Don't worry, sir. Git config user.name Ravi. Okay. Now where is the proof for that? Where is the proof? Is it really set or not? Git config user dot name if I use Ravi. Yes, friend. Is it changed or not? Yes. Okay. Git config. Okay, like now I'm taking, sir, here mail ID also I'm trying to change. Yes. Okay. Git config hyphen list I'm taking, sir. Yes. Here still it is it is showing the global configurations. Have you observed? Still it is showing the global configurations. Okay, still it is showing global configurations, but the local configurations here, just observe carefully. Okay, what I want to take is 1 minute, sir. 1 minute. Is these changes are going to be reflected or not? Because I configured already global. Because I configured already global. That's why these configurations are going to be reflected here or not. 1 minute, sir. Git. Okay, what I'm trying to take. Just let me create a file. Cat. Okay, c.txt. Now sample data control D I'm taking, sir. Yes, okay. Here git add c.txt. Next and after that git commit -m new file added something like I took, sir. Okay, new file added like sir git log. Okay, now have a look once. Have you observed, right? Have you observed, right? Name changed or yes, name changed or not? Earlier names are Durga, but now the name changed or not? Okay, like but mail ID won't be changed. Why? I didn't execute this command. User.name, user.email, like we have to take. By mistake, I used mail. That's why. User.email, like we require to use. Okay, so take a bit special care. Okay. Now onwards what? Now onwards these things, right? Now onwards these things are going to be there. Okay, change it. Okay. Here one small thing we have to discuss. Sir, in the last session, sir, you used these things with global option. Have you remembered, right? We used these things with global option also. Git config global global. Okay, like I use these things. Okay, now let me execute these commands. What will happen? I will explain. Don't worry, sir. Okay, like now git config list. Now observe that. Yes, friends, either global configurations got changed or not? Yes, global configurations are changed or not? Yes. Okay, now take very special care. Without global, with global, what is the difference, right? Okay, without global versus with global, what is the difference? Very important. Sir, in my system, I installed Git. Okay, listen carefully. I installed Git software I installed. By using this Git, how many repositories we can create, we can maintain? Can you please tell? How many repositories we can maintain? Multiple repositories we can. Are you getting that? Because project 1, project 2, project 3, okay, like multiple repositories, right? So for all repositories, which is managed by current Git, I want the same username and password. I want same username and mail ID. Then we require to use global. Remember, whenever we are using global, what is the meaning of that is, if you are going to create a new repository also, so the same username and password by default, the same username and email by default applicable, it won't ask again new username and new username and the password, something like. Are you getting right? Global means what? For all repositories, these configurations are applicable. Okay, for all repositories, these configurations are applicable. Okay, like next, suppose local. Suppose I'm not using global. Without global means without global means applicable. The configurations are applicable. Without global means configurations applicable only for current repository. Okay, only for current repository. Okay, like are you in the position to understand, right? only for current repository. Okay, like so tomorrow if you are going to create project 3, so if it is not global, then it will ask again what is the username, what is the email id, like it is going to ask. Are you getting? So with the global means configurations are applicable for all repositories. With the global means configurations applicable for all repositories. Okay, for all repositories. Okay, like okay, just to take a bit special care. Without a global means configurations are applicable only for current repository. Sir, what will happen is, so I created here, listen carefully, listen a bit carefully. I have multiple repositories are there in my local system. Assume that. Okay, multiple repositories are there in my local system. So I may tomorrow I may require to work with the, okay, here maybe with the GitHub, maybe with the GitHub. Okay, GitHub. Maybe I may require to work with the GitLab also. Okay, I may require to work with the GitLab. Sir, what these things can you please confirm? What are these GitHub and GitLab, these kind of things? Basic idea I hope you may have. What are these things? Can you please confirm? I told already in the last session. Okay, these things are remote repositories. Remote repositories. Okay, like suppose here, so these two repositories I created for GitHub purpose, but this repository I created for GitLab sake. Okay, assume that because I'm working on multiple projects, these two projects I have to push to the GitHub, but this project I have to push to the GitLab because clients are different. Okay, like now take a bit special care. Here your username and your username and email, here your username and email need not be same. Correct, right? Your username and email need not be same. In the GitLab may be different, but GitHub may be different. Then what you require to do is, please make sure, sir, for these two things you have to configure, okay, this username and the email related. For this one we require to configure separately. Means so we recommended to use without global in real time if you are working on multiple repositories, multiple remote repositories. Clear, right? But very rare this type of situation. I hope are you in the position to understand? Okay, these are the remote repositories, right? So if you want, these are the local repositories. If the local repositories, if you are working for multiple remote repositories, better to configure, okay, without global. For all repositories having the same credentials and you are talking about only one GitHub repository, okay, then happily you can use. Manish, okay, take a bit special care. So here the credentials are related to GitHub, GitLab. Like if you are working on two different clients, assume that. Manish. Okay, so this is just a basic idea you should aware. Sir, everyone in the position to understand what is the GitHub, what is the I mean, what is the global, with global and without global? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is just whatever the commands we used in the last session. With again I'm repeating these things so that you people will get much clarity about these basic commands. So the basic most commonly used commands, right? Git init, next and after that git status, git add, okay, git commit, next and after the git log, next git config. Okay, but anyway, this is a bit only one time we are going to use git config, but remaining, sir, these are things multiple times we require to use. Okay, in the next session we require to talk about git log in detail. Post mortem we require to perform, friends. in the last sessions we covered, sir, what is the need of version control systems? What the need of version control systems we covered. Next, how version control system works. Yes, how it is going to work. There is a repository concept, working directory concept. Okay, like how version control system works. Okay. Next, basic terminology of version control system we covered. Something like a commit, checkout, repository, working directory, like we covered. Next, benefits of version control system. What are various benefits are there, sir? Like we discussed about that. Next, and after that, even we had a discussion about types of version control systems. How many types of version control systems are there? You have to tell. Can you please confirm? How many types of version control systems are there? Two. What is the first category, sir? What is the first category? The first category itself is, sir, do you know, centralized. What is the first one? Centralized. Even the second one is distributed model. Okay, distributed, right? Sir, next, we covered very clearly what is the difference between centralized and distributed, right? Sir, in the centralized model, model, what will happen? Yes, we covered already. In the centralized model, what will happen is, now if you observe that, just have a look once. We covered in detail in the last session anyway, right? Sir, in the centralized model, okay, a single repository will be there. This repository will be shared by all the developers. Okay, remember this one, all the developers, right? Developers are required to perform commit, checkout, everything is related to this central repository. So n number of problems are there with this central repository server. What is the problem is, sir, total code is available in the central repository, right? If something goes wrong, something happened to this machine, then automatically, sir, recover is very difficult. Remember, it is a single point of failure. By mistake, if the server got crashed, then automatically it is not possible to recover, very difficult to recover, right? Okay, like next, commit and checkout operations should be performed on central repository. Over the network, performance is going to be down. Next, and after that, compulsory the client developers workspace should be connected to the central repository always. Okay, like multiple problems are there with this approach. Okay, we covered in detail in the last sessions. Don't worry at all. If you want to, you can refer the previous video. Next, to overcome these limitations, we should go for what? Okay, distributed version control system. Okay, in the distributed version control system, the beauty is, every developer's workspace having the repository. Have you observed, right? Yes, this is the repository. Every developer's workspace having the repository, right? Sir, all commit operations and all checkout operations will be performed locally. Okay, locally, so performance is going to be improved. Next, network outage is there, still no problem at all, still developer can continue his work. Next, and after that, even, do you know, here there is no question of single point of failure. You people aware already this terminology, right? Next, in the distributed model, we can maintain one repository just for code sharing purpose. Okay, that model itself is nothing but distributed with the remote repository model. Okay, even we have remote repository, don't feel that it is the central repository, just it is the bare repository only. What the, sir, it is just it is a bare repository just to share the code, that's all. Just to share the code, that's all. This is the remote repository, right? But all local, all commit operation and checkout operation, where it will be performed, sir? In the local repository only. If any developer want to share his work, then only he will push his work to the remote repository. Okay, like, sir, have you remembered, right? All these things we covered very clearly in the last videos or last sessions. Any doubt about up to this, right? Can you please spell out? Okay, Yes, I hope it's a very clear for you people, right? Okay, like now the next thing what I have to discuss is sir, the tool I have to discuss about okay, Git. This is the most commonly used sir version control tool in the DevOps. Sir, being DevOps engineer, compulsory the first tool what you have to aware is the Git. Remember this one, sir. Okay, the first tool what you should aware is the Git, right? Okay, sir, it's a very simple. Git is sir, up to this, can I use the word Git is distributed version control system tool or not? Can you please confirm? Git is distributed, okay, distributed version control system tool. Can I use the word this version control system tool? Version control system tool, like sir, what is the Git is a distributed version control system tool. Yes, correct or not? Yes, Git sir, based on which architecture it is, this tool is developed, sir, it is based on distributed version control system model. Okay, like sir, centralized, can you please tell any examples for centralized version control system? Respond. SVN. Yes, correct. SVN. Next and after that, CVS is there. CVS. Next and after that, purpose. Okay. Purpose. Okay. TFS, etc. Okay. Can you give an example for distributed version control systems? Yes, Git. Git is the best example for that. Git is there. Next and after that, have you remembered Mercurial? Next, sir, fossil. Okay, like fossils. Okay, like fossil. Like it is also like, sir. Now Git itself is distributed version control system tool. Remember a bit carefully, right? Sir, now my question is, yes, observe very carefully, sir. Sir, do you aware the word Linux? Respond. Have you aware the word Linux? Why suddenly Linux came into the picture is, okay, I hope you people aware Linux. Sir, why the word Linux? Why the word Linux? What is this Linux, sir? It is, respond, it is, why you are waiting? It is operating system. It is operating system. Correct, right? It is the Linux operating system, like. But strictly speaking, Linux is not operating system. It is not operating system. Remember this one. It is not an operating system. Okay, it is just a kernel. Remember that. It is just a kernel. Okay, it is just a kernel, sir. The kernel, which is the part of our operating system, okay, is just it is. So the operating system name is actually GNU. Okay, GNU is the operating system name. So in the GNU, the kernel what they use is Linux. That's why the word GNU Linux, sir, this is the operating system name. Remember this one, sir. But actually, strictly speaking, Linux is nothing but it is just a kernel name. Next, why the word? Okay, why the word Linux? Anyone, can you please tell why the word Linux? Yes, because there is a small link is there with our Git. That's why I'm covering this point. Anyone, can you please tell why the word, sir, Linux? Remember that? Yes, the word Linux is, yes, this kernel developed by, okay, Linus Torvald. Okay, Linus Torvalds. Remember this one. Who developed this Linux kernel? Linus Torvalds. He is a Finnish scientist, right? Okay, Finland, sir. Finnish software engineer. Okay, Finnish software engineer. Yeah. So this person developed Linux kernel. Okay, Linux kernel based on his name. The name Linux came. Then immediately you ask, sir, why Linux? Directly they can keep Linux, like, okay. Most of the operating system names at that time, Unix based operating system names ends with X. HP, AIX. Have you remembered HP, AIX, Unix, like most of the operating system names ends with X. That's why the word instead of Linux, okay, replace this S with the X word. Okay, remember, sir, this is just why I'm telling all this story is, sir, where is the proof? Just a matter of 1 minute. The people who are very much interested, just have a look once. Otherwise, you can ignore. No problem at all, sir. Sir, here Ubuntu. Of course, it is the GNU based system only. Okay, like now have a look once, sir. Here I'm taking. If you want to know system information, okay, your name is the command. Okay, your name is the command, sir. Now observe that. You name, now listen carefully, you name hyphen kernel name, you name hyphen kernel name. Hey, operating system, what is your kernel name? What is your kernel name? Now it is going to tell Linux is the kernel name. Now if I use you name hyphen operating system name, operating system name. Okay, then what is the operating system name, sir? GNU Linux. Okay, remember this one, GNU Linux. Sir, GNU is a project which is initiated to develop a Unix-based operating system. Everything they developed except a kernel. Okay, that kernel who contributed, sir? That kernel who contributed? GNU itself is the project which is responsible, okay, to develop Unix like operating system. Okay, GNU means sir, GNU not Unix, that is the abbreviation, sir. GNU means GNU not Unix. Okay, Unix based operating system they want to develop. Okay, their project started, but they developed everything but except a kernel. That the kernel who contributed, sir, this person is contributed. That's why, right? Okay, but anyway, all this just for your interest sake. But here only one point you people should aware. What is that point? Is this Git is also developed by, okay, Linus Torvalds. Remember this one, sir. Git is also developed by who developed this one, sir? The same person. Okay, Linus Torvalds. Okay, this person developed Git. Just you people should aware. Sir, up to this, any doubt about this? Can you please observe carefully? There are two important points. Very important, sir. Only 2 points I cover. What is Git? What is the Git? Sir, it is the version control system tool. Sir, is it centralized or distributed model? It is a distributed version control system tool. Okay. Next, Git is developed by, who developed this Git, sir? Git is developed by Linus Torvalds. Any doubt? Up to these 2 points, can you please confirm? Any doubt about this? Okay. Next, these days, if any person is asking, sir, version control system, everyone hand is always going for Git only. Remember that, sir. All DevOps engineers, so they are always going to prefer Git as version control system tool. Remember, right? So it's a very popular. Why this Git is very popular, sir? What are various features are there? Why the Git is very popular? Features, just because of features of the Git. Remember a bit very carefully about this, right? So why Git is very popular? Why Git is very popular? Can you please tell the reasons? Okay, can you please tell the reasons? The reasons are features of Git. Remember a bit carefully. So the first biggest feature of Git is distributed. Sir, I hope you people can aware, not required to give much explanation. Sir, Git, why it's very popular? Because it's based on the distributed model. Once it is distributed, can you please spell out what are various advantages we are going to get? Please confirm. Once it is the distributed Git, distributed version control system, can you please tell what are various advantages? Okay, advantages. No single point of failure. No single point of failure. Correct or not? Yes, correct or not? No single point of failure. What is the reason for that? What is the reason for that? Okay, because every developer has a, sir, local repository. Every developer has a local repository. That's why there is no, even, sir, if you observe the diagram, just here, if you observe that, sir, by mistake, assume that this remote repository gone. assume that by mistake this remote repository gone, sir, gone, no problem. Array, here local repository is there, here local repository is there, here local repository is there. By using somewhere you can get it. There is no question of single point of failure. Remember, this is the biggest thing. Second advantage is, okay, well, sir, all commit and checkout operations are performing. Where, sir? Please confirm. Checkout and commit operations are performing locally or not? Yes, locally, not remotely. That's why performance is more. The operations we can perform very speedily. Speed is more. Remember that. Okay, we covered already all these things in the last. Just list out the things, right? Beyond that, nothing. Next, sir, any other? Okay, developers workspace need not be